What's up, everyone? Welcome into episode 36 of Around the Felt. I am your host, Colin Tong. Next to me, Reagan Losher. Reagan, how are we feeling today?
I'd be feeling better if the Eagles didn't just, collapse.
Sucks, big win, man. Baby. I'm on a roll with the big bets. I'm on a roll. What am I up, 3 or 4 this year?
I'm not sure.
Can we confirm that? Three or 4? I know it's at least 3. I think it might be 4.
No, I don't think so. You're not that many, are you?
I think so, man.
I think it's at least 3.
It's at least 3.
I feel like you've done a lot of punishments.
It's at least, you've done a lot more, my friends. Speaking of punishments.
Yeah, when I think of it, I think of
it's
you doing more.
I feel like because he owes us one that he hasn't done yet.
I'm doing
and then he did the Jets one, so that you kind of forget about that one. And then you did the shoe. You did
the blazing.
What else?
How many is it?
That's 4.
That's 4. And then did we count the bowling?
And bowling. Shoe. Blazing.
Jets.
The Jets jersey.
I feel like there was one more, no?
Oh, 999 volume 1.
Yeah, 999.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's 5.
Yeah.
And you've done...
I think that's it, right?
You've done... Yeah, that's 5. You've done the cooking one.
Yeah. Dancing one.
Dancing.
Swimming.
999 volume 2. Pumpkin pie.
Jets.
Or
not Jets. I mean,
Turkey
at the Jet game, yeah.
Turkey.
And now this.
Lacrosse.
So I'm at 7, you're at 5. So I've done 2 more than you.
Yes, 2 more.
I was going to say 3 to 4 seemed a little outlandish.
Yeah. I thought it was 3. I thought it was 3.
Yeah, because Colin hasn't done his punishment yet. So
you forgot. He's slacking on us.
So we got, so this weekend we have a big lineup of punishments dropping for you guys. We're going to drop the pumpkin pie video Friday. We're doing the bowling Friday. We're dropping that Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Reagan's going to be in the lacrosse net with Mina and Emma pelting him with lacrosse balls so he gets 10 saves on Sunday. Big weekend for Around the Felt.
That'll be a fun one.
Speaking of weekends, Reagan, I know you mentioned the Eagles let you down. I had a phenomenal weekend. I was actually in Philadelphia on Saturday for SantaCon. Shout out Hafe. I know you're listening. Great time with the boys, and I'm walking through the streets of Philadelphia dressed as Santa with my Eagles friends, and they're like, "Go Birds, go Birds!" And I'm like, "Yeah, y'all gonna get your ass whooped tomorrow. Niners are gonna roll." And it felt really good when the Niners beat the shit out of the Eagles because I shut up all the Eagles people in Philadelphia, and now you, my friends, have to be in goal.
You definitely shut them up. I'm sure that was the first thing they thought when they lost that game. Was like, no, this random Santa walking
random Santa said it.
Us. Oh,
I told them, man.
I'm sure that's the first thing they thought. And
Eagles played too many tough games.
I think the bet should be voided. Like the Eagles lost their key member Dom, Big Dom, the security guard.
Big Dom.
So I think it should be voided. That's when the game changed. So.
Because the Niners lost Dre Greenlaw, Pro Bowl linebacker.
Yeah, but
the Eagles lost Big Dom, and that's what flipped the switch.
Yeah, but you can't
That's a fair trade.
You can't exactly you don't know Dom's impact. We already know there's no cap on it, so there's no way to prove his impact.
That's crazy.
But they were I believe they were winning before he got ejected. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's an interesting take there, Reagan. But if you want to roll with that, you can.
That was so funny. That whole interaction.
That was
just like when the ref announced, it's like, yeah, we have ejected Dom, the security guard. They didn't say that exactly, but still.
Nah, so funny, man. Well, let's get into the news. A lot of news today. A lot of shit went down in the NFL this weekend.
Gotta love it.
And we got to start with your Jets again, brother.
We probably. That can't be the biggest news. It just can't.
Well, it's definitely up there.
I don't know.
There's a lot of news, so pick your poison. What's the biggest one? But the quarterback that you took second overall saying that he doesn't want to play, it's kind of big news. Diana Rossini reports say the Jets want to make a change at quarterback,
lying.
But Wilson reluctant to take over. Then it got to Saleh, and Saleh claims Wilson told him he wants the ball. Reagan, are you buying it, or are you believing Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson with this one?
Dude, I don't even know. I don't know. I mean, I feel like these reporters just love to spread stories, so whether it's true or not, I don't blame. If it's true, I don't blame them. But at the same point, I don't want him playing right now. I did, but now I'm all tank mode right now, and I think he gives us the best chance to win. So,
that's
I'd
crazy,
rather Tim Boyle.
But he does give you a better chance to win than Tim Boyle.
He does. Much better chance. It's clear it's a much better chance. We beat the Eagles with Zach Wilson. We're not beating the Eagles with Tim Boyle.
No.
So, you know what I mean? Zach Wilson, it shows flashes. What does Tim Boyle or Trevor Siemian show?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
So this is my take on it. Diana Rossini is one of the most respected insiders in the league. She doesn't put out bullshit. It came from someone reliable. I think Robert Saleh was trying to backtrack it because you can't go out and say, oh, yeah, that's true, because what does that say about Wilson? What does that say about your relationship with the players? Then Wilson's just, he can never play another snap for the Jets where they might need him this year. I mean, they might need him this week because clearly
I don't know.
Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian don't give you a better chance to win. So I think
sucks, 'cause
Saleh...
we're probably going to beat the Texans somehow this week, and I do not want to win at all. Because now that I've gone to tank mode, it's going to suck, because now they're going to rattle it. Watch they win the next 2 games, and it's like, what the hell? As soon as I want them to start losing. Because that's the same thing happened with you guys with the Giants. As soon as you want them to start losing, they start winning, and
they won 2 games.
You're like, what the hell?
So they had like the second best chance to get the number 1 pick, and now they're at 7 in the draft. But
yeah, you guys are not getting the bottom 2 pick.
I think Saleh was trying to protect Wilson. I do think that is true. So a couple things for Wilson. One, if he has the mindset where he's like, nah, fuck you, like you benched me for those guys, and you thought it'd be better off. Like clearly it's not. Clearly they're not more talented than Wilson. No. Now talent's a different thing than actually performing on the field. Also at the same time, it's one of the softest things I've ever seen from a quarterback in the NFL to say, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to play." Like, what does that say about the guy? Like, how you feel about the guys on your team?
Dude,
like, you don't have their back. You don't
I think his confidence is at an all-time low.
It's shot. But like to say, "Oh, I'm not going to play." Like, what does that say about your potential new employer next year? They don't want to bring in a guy who doesn't want to play for his boys. Like, come on, that's pathetic, man.
True. That's why I don't know if it's fully true.
I don't know, man, because like you said, Wilson's confidence is shot. Clearly, he's not going to be in New York next year. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But if you're a team, do you want to bring in Zach Wilson if you're stuck in quarterback hell and you can't get a guy at the top of the draft? Is that the guy you want to bring in who's not going to step in for his teammates when the team wants it? Your employer says, "Yo, we need you to play. You're under contract," and he's like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to play."
Just like I'm good. I'm good with this conversation.
I'm
done.
I'm
ready for the draft. I don't care what happens.
The wrong way. That is not a guy you want in your building if you're trying to build a championship caliber football team. Not even based off skill-wise on the field, just personality-wise and how you treat the people in the organization. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it, man.
I don't like it either, but you know what? As long as we keep losing, I love it. So that's all that matters at this point.
Fake fan.
Give me Reggie Wayne Jr., please.
Yeah, that joke is just gonna keep going and going and going.
Fine. Give me Brock Bowers.
Maybe Brock Bowers would definitely have a good impact on your offense.
Maybe one of the linemen. We need another. We either need an offensive lineman or a weapon. So.
Ooh, could you imagine
Well,
Roger?
you could get both. Technically,
Could
you
you
get a tight end, right?
Could you imagine?
How would we get both?
You know, you put them together. Offensive.
I thought you were saying we're gonna have 2 picks. I'm like,
I'm
all ears. If
I've
somebody wants
heard,
to get a first-round pick for Zach Wilson, I'll take it.
Some people have said
Boyd's right there.
Some people have said that Brock Bowers is a combination of Alan Lazard and Jalen Hyatt. The way he plays, he's a phenomenal blocker and he could really run.
Hey, that's what I heard. If that's what the people are saying, that's my wide receiver too. Then.
Now, could you imagine Jets' offense with Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, and Brock Bowers next year? Oh, I'm just saying.
I mean, if we don't go,
I don't mean to get you all excited over here.
I don't think we'll get Harrison. To be honest, I don't think we'll get down to the bottom 3 teams. But if we did,
I don't think so either.
And I don't think we need to because we get Devontae.
Uh-oh is right.
Uh-oh.
The Eagles signed Shaq Leonard today. It was a race between 2 NFC's teams. Yup, Howie Roseman special. I hate them so much, but they addressed one of their biggest needs at the moment. That defense is getting exposed right now, man. I mean, the linebacker play is very, very bad to the point where, you have those guys that are dominant up front in the interior, but linebackers aren't doing a good enough filling the holes. They're not doing a good enough job in coverage. So although Shaq Leonard was, the Colts' trash, he's the Eagles' treasure in this instance. He could be a big boost to their defense.
I think it'll be a huge boost. I mean, they ran it down their throat between Debo and McCaffrey yesterday.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's really who they got to prep for to beat in the playoffs. Yeah. You got to be able to beat the Niners, and the Niners are saying we have to be able to beat the Eagles. So, I mean...
Plus, Detroit,
and they kept them away from Dallas.
Detroit's going to be another playoff team. What do they want to do? They want to run the ball, so...
Absolutely, and they also kept them away from Dallas, which, now they play Dallas this week and potentially could play them in the playoffs, so...
Yeah.
I think it's a good ad for the Eagles for sure. Tyrod Taylor, designated return from IR. There's a big controversy on Giants Twitter right now. Do you stick with Tommy Cutlets or do you go back to Tyrod? Tyrod Taylor is a better player. You probably have a better chance to win. Where on the other side, Tommy DeVito's a fun story. He's rejuvenated the team. Also, he's auditioning to be your future QB2, while Tyrod is most likely, probably definitely, gone after this season regardless.
I don't see any point in playing Tyrod at this point. I mean,
I agree.
The season's lost, so you might as well just rally behind the guy that's getting it done right now. I mean, he's a rookie. It's all right, you never know. I mean, who would have thought Brock Purdy would be a starter? I don't think DeVito's a long-term starter, but you never know. So you might as well let him have the rest of the year to really showcase it. I mean, if they get a couple more wins and he continues to look good, I mean, he's making a case to be the starter next year, where Tyrod Taylor, he's not going to be the starter at any point.
Now, there's a lot of guys that break down the film for the Giants, and one of the biggest knocks on DeVito right now is with the quick game. He's not making the reads.
There's knocks, but you also got to think, there's a reason he went undrafted. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And that's what they're saying, that he's struggling right now with the quick game because those are like now throws. Like you got to hit a tight window, the timing's got to be there, or you risk throwing an interception. And it seems like they're trying to protect DeVito and take care of the ball, but DeVito's not making those reads. He's not making those quick throws, which is why he's getting sacked so much because he's holding the ball.
Yeah.
And then but he is making plays downfield because he's holding the ball.
It'll
And
be
he
interesting.
hasn't. I mean, the Giants have pushed the ball downfield more over the last few weeks with Jalen Hyatt than they have all season. So
It'll be
positives and
interesting to
negatives.
see how he does against the Packers because that defense has been playing out of their mind recently.
Yeah,
That
Packers
team
are
has been
hot.
playing out of
Packers
their
are hot
minds.
right now, man.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think
Probably
they
the hottest
should
team in
stick.
football right now. I mean, they
Or
just beat the
Houston.
Chiefs and Lions.
Or Houston.
No, not Houston. Houston's definitely not. They just beat the Chiefs and the Lions.
That's a good point. They beat the
Like-
Chiefs and the Lions.
Like, I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Who's
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs and the Lions. Niners are also hot too, though.
And what was I going to say? And they beat the Lions on the road on Thanksgiving too. You know what
Impressive.
I mean? So
It's impressive, man. Absolutely impressive. Jordan Love looks good. We'll get into that later. Kenny Pickett undergoes ankle surgery, similar to the tightrope surgery with the high ankle that Tua had back in college.
yeah.
Not expected to get placed on IR, which means they're hoping to get him back before the end of the regular season. Reagan, do you still think the Steelers can be a playoff team with Mitchell Trubisky under
I
center?
do, because I don't think their offense is going to suffer that much more. Like, how much worse can it really get? They weren't doing much with Pickett. It honestly could get better, as crazy as it is to say. Like, it's not like Pickett's having a good season at all.
No, I mean, I'm not a Pickett
Like,
believer at all.
I don't really think the offense really loses much. Like, maybe it goes down, gets slightly worse, but I still think it's pretty much the same team. Like, I don't view them any differently. Like, they should handle business against the Patriots this week.
I mean, if they
Should.
I mean, that's that's a brutal game we have this upcoming Thursday. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with the totals in the upper 20s.
Yeah.
With the way the Patriots, I saw this. They're the first team since 1938 to hold their opponent to less than 10 points in 3 straight games and lose every one of them.
Yeah. That's,
10 points or less, 3 straight games, and they've lost every one of them. Since 1938, bro, that's when everyone was just running the ball every play. They didn't even know what a forward pass was yet. Like, that's insane.
Oh
That is
my
an
God.
insane
That
stat.
is- no, dude, that is insane.
And then you have the Mitchell Trubisky-led Steelers on the other side. So both defenses are playing really good football.
So, everything, with all that said, we take the over. Like, with all that said, that just tells you to take the over.
With all that said, I hope the wheel lands on no touchdown score this week.
Yeah, I mean, we have to put it on the board, man. We may have to
have
throw it
to.
on twice.
We have to,
We may have to
bro.
throw it on there twice just because it's, you know.
Little live news. They just announced the Heisman finalists. Jaden Daniels from LSU, Michael Penix Jr. from Washington, Bo Nix from Oregon, Marvin Harrison Jr. Who do you think gets it? Bo? Bo's the favorite. I kind of like Jaden Daniels, though, dude.
I don't know, man. Do they decide before these bowl games?
Yeah, it's the Heisman ceremony's this Saturday.
Oh, I feel like Penix.
You think he's a heavy underdog?
Yeah.
That's
I'll
crazy
take
that they're
Penix.
going to give it to Nix when, like,
I'll take
Penix
Penix.
and Washington beat Nix
Yeah,
twice and won the
crazy.
Pac-12.
I'll
And
take Penix.
Nix is the favorite. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll take Penix.
I like Daniels. All right, Mike Evans hits 1,000 yards for a decade straight to start his career. Just an unreal stretch.
Congrats, Mike.
Congrats, Mike. If you're listening, us at Around the Field are really proud of you. Definitely one of the most underrated receivers in football. Definitely a Hall of Famer.
Thanks for scoring every week. I don't take you.
Yeah, he has like plus odds to score. I mean, it's sneaky
Yeah.
every week. Every week, man. He's
The one we got
Hooked me
to
up a
his
few
yards, he
times.
didn't do shit.
yeah. 1 week.
For the parlay. he
Thanks,
had, like,
Mike. But at least
40.
you hit 1,000 already.
But this week he
Congrats,
wanted to go
Mike.
for like 160.
Congrats, Mike.
It's
Yeah.
really
Congrats,
impressive for Mike. He's done it with Jameis Winston. He's done it with Tom Brady. He's done it with Baker Mayfield. Just, cool accomplishment that we like to highlight around the felt.
Very cool.
Now we go to some bad news. Tank
Yeah,
Dell
this one
fractures his fibula, out for the season. One of the superstar rookie wide receivers this season. You hate to see it, Reagan.
Yeah, man, he was having a crazy year. I think he had like 7 or 8 touchdowns on the year. He was really coming along. He was probably. I was gonna say he's probably his favorite target, but you can make a case for Nico Collins. But those.
That's the thing. They're almost like 1A, 1B with
Yeah.
CJ Stroud this year.
So
Stroud leads the
Was that
league
a
in
touch
passing.
Was that a touch push?
No, it was a inside run play,
Okay.
but they had Tank Dell like flanked to the right side of the
But he already
offensive
had
line, and
Campbell
he
with
was
a
like
calf
lead
injury,
blocking,
too.
so they landed on him.
Which- I know it was a freak injury, but it's also dummy. It was on the injury report all week with a calf injury, and then you put him in that situation.
He's also 5'9", $165. Why is he lead blocking and like from the 5-yard line on
He
a
wasn't
power
even
play?
Their
outside-
next move.
He wasn't even the outside wide receiver. I'm pretty sure it was the
Yeah, he was the
closer to
inside.
center,
Yeah, he was the inside receiver. Just, I mean, from a personnel perspective, doesn't really make much sense. But
Yeah, I mean, you should probably coach the Texans, right?
No, D'Amico's doing a hell of a job, but offensively, whoever the OC is, like a pretty poor use of your personnel there because now you lost Tank for the year, and when you're in the wild card
That
race,
Tank's out
man.
of commission. But
that tank is out of commission, unfortunately.
yeah, it really is. But I think Stroud will be all right. I don't think this really affects anything for him fantasy-wise or the Texans season long.
I mean, it hurts, but I don't think it's substantial
I don't think
enough.
his production changes much.
Yeah, I mean, let's see who steps up in Tank's absence.
Probably Noah Brown. Like that's
Yeah,
so
Noah.
easy.
I mean, we've seen Noah Brown go off too. So
Yeah, back-to-back weeks
yeah.
of 150 plus.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because he can never do anything in Dallas, and that was a high-powered offense. So, all right, last but not least, Derek Carr leaves the game versus the Lions. He actually had 3 injuries.
Took a brutal hit.
Brutal hit. It's his second
Yeah.
concussion in 4 weeks. He also has shoulder and back injuries. And also, Reagan, your boy Derek Carr, who you, hot take-wise, said was going to be league MVP, got booed by his home fans when he checked in for Taysom Hill. Is this the end of the Derek Carr era in New Orleans already?
I don't think so. I don't think it's the end of it. I think that Dennis Allen will be fired after this season, and I think that they'll bring in a new coach, and it's up to the new coach. So I think if that new coach likes Carr, then he stays. It depends on what the coach wants to do, and it also depends where they finish on the season. If they're in a spot where they can draft a quarterback and start fresh. But I think if it's not Derek Carr, I don't know who it would be. Because I think at this point we know what Jameis is. Like, he's not a starter in this league. And
No, he's not. He turns the ball over too much.
I know. And Taysom Hill, obviously, is...
He's a gadget player. He's a fun
He's a
player,
gadget
but he's not
player.
your starting quarterback.
I mean, he could win some fantasy championships.
Thing is, man, the Saints...
Like, what if they turn to Taysom Hill and they don't change it? And he
No,
just
they
wins some
have to.
fantasy
They have
championships?
No, they will. They made that mistake once. It's not going to happen
gosh.
again. But yeah, Saints are at 5-7. One of those teams that's like stuck in the middle. You're not going to be able to get one of those top guys unless you move up. Maybe you get lucky and hit in the middle of the draft. Like, I don't know. We've seen Mahomes get picked 10th. Like, you never know. But, I mean, Fields got picked 11th. You never know. But
Yeah.
I don't
and
know.
the
It's just
thing
a tough
is,
spot, man.
And the thing is, they still could make the playoffs.
They still can make the playoffs in that division. They're
Like,
one game back
they're
of
playing
Atlanta.
Carolina this week, and Atlanta's playing Tampa Bay. Like, they could be tied for the division again after this week.
They totally could be.
It'll be a 3-way tie, actually.
I wouldn't be surprised if. Do you now? This is an interesting question. Do you think all 4 coaches in the NFC South could lose their job after this year? Well, I mean,
they all
including
could.
Frank Reich already did.
I think they all could.
Dennis
but I think,
Allen, Arthur Smith.
I think
Todd
whichever
Bowles.
one makes the playoffs keeps his job.
You think
Yeah.
even if like Atlanta goes 8-9, they keep Arthur Smith?
Yes, because they got in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, it was ugly, but you did your job. You got your team into the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
We've seen like starting
and
quarterbacks and
all
coaches
those
lose their
teams
jobs making the playoffs
We're
before.
probably exceeding expectations by making the playoffs, if you really think about it.
Yeah, but also there's that mindset where it's like, yeah, you made the playoffs, but also your division was so bad that someone had to make it. It's not necessarily that the coach did a phenomenal job, just because they beat up on each other and it's a bad division. So
Like, I feel like
play
Bowles-
devil's advocate.
I feel like Bowles would keep his job if they make the playoffs.
I think there's no chance they make the playoffs.
I don't know. None of it's that crazy.
I mean, 5-7, Saints
All
5-7.
not one of
Falcons
those teams
6-6.
has really looked like they're better than the other. So
I know.
I'm
Like
not
when they
ruling
play,
out
when they
anyone.
play, you're like, all right, we have no idea who's gonna win. It's a coin. It's a coin.
exactly. So I'm not gonna rule. Maybe Carolina. Can't count them out yet.
Flip. Yeah, there's Carolina's already eliminated from the playoffs.
Oh, they are. No. Count them out.
They're the only team you can
Count-
count. They
you
are
can count them out.
actually the only team you can count out right
Well,
now.
at least they got a draft pick.
In the league.
Well, at least they got
They
a
got
draft
the E.
pick.
They got
Oh
the
wait.
E.
Oh wait.
Oh wait.
You're the E eliminated, and they don't even have their draft pick.
Yeah, they're looking at those. They're looking on the day 2 mock drafts.
It looks like it could be. Yeah, the fans are like, all right, let me scroll down to round 2. Or are they offering round 2 and 3 mock drafts yet?
My one friend that's a Panthers fan. Today we were like talking about the Jets and Giants. He's like, at least you guys have a draft pick.
Yes, no, it's
Dude's just
it's a good point, man.
terrible.
It could be one of the worst trades in NFL history. Bryce Young for potentially
I think it's
Caleb Williams.
way too early to
DJ
say.
Moore.
Way too early to say that.
It could be.
I know,
could
but
be.
I think it's way too. It's way
If
too
Bryce
early to
Young
say
doesn't
that.
become a franchise quarterback,
Yeah.
in the next 2 or 3
I'm
years,
not out on him yet though, because that.
I'm not either,
Like,
bro.
they're just,
They have
you know,
no weapons.
He's in
the
a
offensive
terrible
line's
situation.
terrible.
Like,
Yeah.
And if anyone who thinks Stroud's
Fire the
good
coach
thinks that he
mid-season.
would do anything in Carolina, they're completely wrong. I don't think Stroud would do anything on the Panthers right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers are brutal. Plus, I mean, we've seen this before. Like, now, granted, Bryce Young wasn't the prospect Trevor Lawrence was, but Trevor Lawrence's rookie year was brutal as well. He led the league in
We've
interceptions.
seen
They
plenty
fired
of-
Urban Meyer
We've seen it happen plenty with
mid-season,
Peyton
had
Manning.
nothing around
Peyton
him.
Manning.
Peyton Manning, like,
I mean-
it's now Trevor Lawrence and Peyton Manning are bigger athletes, stronger arms, and all that. Bryce
Yeah.
Young's 5'10", that kind of works against him a little bit, but absolutely, you can't give up on a rookie quarterback. You just can't. All right, that wraps up the news. Joe, what do we got for questions today?
All right, we're going to start off with Austin.
Austin!
What's up, Austin? How we doing, baby?
Austin wants to talk some college ball.
Let's go. I fucking love the college ball.
Did FSU get snubbed? Should
Oh.
they have gotten in?
This is the biggest debate in the sports world right now. So you knew, obviously, Michigan was in. Obviously, Washington was in. It came down to 3 teams: Bama, Texas, and Florida State. Florida State undefeated, conference champ. The fact that they're not in is pretty fucked up, in my opinion.
Whoa.
Then again,
You got them cursing, so you know it's bad.
Then again, Alabama is the one-loss SEC champ and just beat Georgia, who hasn't lost in 2 years. One-loss SEC champ has got to be in. Now, Texas, one loss to their rival Oklahoma, and they beat Alabama. What do you do? Now, clearly, I think and it's weird that Texas is 3 and Alabama's 4. It's because Texas beat them head-to-head. Yeah. And that almost says that, okay, if Jordan Travis was healthy, FSU would have been 4 and then Texas would have been in because Texas is ranked above Alabama right now because Texas beat Alabama head-to-head. But Alabama beat number 1 Georgia, who hasn't lost in 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, it's so complicated. I think if Travis is healthy, it's a different conversation. Florida State is definitely in. And then it's, all right, do you give it to Texas, who beat Bama head-to-head, which is the most important criteria, or the one-loss SEC champ with the best win of the season? Tough, man. I feel bad for Florida State, but let's be honest. Florida State would have lost probably by 35.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
And now they're playing Georgia, and I think Georgia's going to absolutely beat the hell out of them, and it's going to shut everyone up. But if Florida State does go out there and beat Georgia with their backup quarterback, then, yeah. The committee's going to have to answer to some questions.
Well, yeah, I mean, they definitely were snubbed, but I also didn't realize, like, I was watching the selection show live, and they said, like, injuries are a factor in the decision making, so I didn't know that. So when I heard that, I was like, all right, I don't feel as bad now.
It sucks because it's like
it is dumb.
Because then it's
but
like,
I mean,
instead of looking at the resume that you built all season, it's looking into
think about how money driven
predicting.
this is. What makes them more money? FSU being in or Alabama being in?
I know.
And
Think
that's
about
the sticker.
how long.
That's the
and
sticking point.
Think about how
Get
long.
him on the committee.
Let's go.
Stephen-
Get this guy on the committee.
Stephen A. Smith said, he said if Deion Sanders was coaching Florida State, they'd be in.
Yeah, probably.
true.
Yo, honestly, probably, because you know what it is?
Politics.
It's a business,
It's
man.
all
It's a
money,
business. The NCAA's been profiting off athletes for years. All
do you think
I
they
care
want
about
money?
is fucking money, man. That's a great point,
Think
Reagan.
about how long
business.
think about how long it took them to give NIL deals.
Exactly.
You know
That's what I just said.
Nothing shocks me. I mean, I just think it's good for the 12-team format. And what this could not have been a better year for them to shut up all those people that are like, no, 4 teams better. This is the best
So
year.
true.
They could not have asked for a better situation for that because this was literally going to break the
because
rest.
Just all
now,
around better.
thank God it's the last.
I was one of the people that was like, this is great, but I heard a ton of people were like, no, 12's too many. It's going to suck.
No,
but now
4
everyone's
sucks.
like,
Who said 12 sucked? 12 is way better because it's more
12
fun
No,
football
I
for
agree.
us to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like who as a
I
fan
know,
doesn't
I
want to
agree.
see those top
Would've been
12
perfect
teams?
this year, 12.
Yeah. What is
This would've
crazy
been
is
the best year to
this
do
is this would have been the first.
you
It's
guys
the
realize
first year.
Liberty would have been in too because they have to put it. They have to put one of the outside Power 5 teams.
Yeah,
And that's why they're playing Oregon.
The top ranked group of 5 gets it
crazy.
automatic in the playoff.
Yeah,
It's just funny that the big
Liberty in there.
It's just
but
funny-
they're gonna be playing Oregon, so if they go and beat Oregon, then it's like, oh shit, like maybe they did belong in there if
Yeah.
it was like a 12 team.
it's just I don't know. I just think it's funny that
That's crazy.
it all exploded in front of
Yeah.
their face the last year that there was 4. Because like for the past couple years, been like, oh, 2 SEC teams get in. Like the
I also
Pac-12
thought there was a
wasn't
chance that
there.
They would
Like
just be like,
The SEC's
The Big 12 wasn't there.
Like, half the years at least.
yeah.
I know, it's just-
I'm honestly thought they would be like low key, just be like Washington, like sorry, bye bye. Who's gonna complain? The Pac-12 that's not here next year.
the
You know what I
Pac-12
mean?
that doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought they were gonna
Yeah,
do.
but Washington like beating Oregon twice.
Yeah.
And they were also
Or
10-point underdogs.
If Washington and
Crazy.
Oregon lost,
Still
like if
mind-blowing.
Oregon beat Washington, that also could have changed a lot. And they could have been like, "Now they're both out."
Now,
Pac-12,
yeah, if
they're
Oregon
out.
beat
I agree,
Washington,
Oh,
Then
is
it's
the
like,
Pac-12
oh.
going to cry that they don't have a team in here? Oh wait, they're
Dude,
not a
that
thing.
That's the thing,
picture
if
of all
Oregon
the
beat
mascots
Washington,
is
like-
so sad.
Yeah.
if Oregon beat Washington, then yeah, Florida State's probably in, and then it's do you give it to Oregon or Alabama? I
Let's
think.
say give it to Alabama
or Texas.
They give it to Alabama and Texas.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it's
I think
dude,
they would. If Oregon win, I think they would have kept both teams out.
very interesting, bro. Very
Yeah, well,
interesting
well,
question.
it
The
goes
college
in that,
football
man.
world, I love it.
Well, that kind of segues into what he next asked. He said, "Who takes home the national championship? Who will face up against each other in the national championship game?"
So man, Michigan's a 2.5-point favorite. I know that. I think Washington's favored slightly.
No, I thought Texas. No, Texas is
Texas
3.5 point
Texas-
favorite.
Texas
Yeah,
is
yeah.
favored.
Yeah, come
See,
on.
that's
do some research.
See,
dude.
I've been backing Washington all year. I said it last week. I was like, I got to roll with Washington the points. I did take them outright as well. Let's go. I love the Huskies. They've been I've watched more of Washington than any other team this year.
Yeah, I might like
A lot of big games, but hook 'em horns, baby. I like Texas. I've liked Texas since I was like 6 years old. I'm rocking with Texas. Alabama and Michigan, I've been going back and forth with. I'm still stuck. I'm going to go Michigan.
I think Alabama's scary.
I'm going to go Michigan, but I
I'm gonna
fucking hate
take-
Michigan. But I'm going to go Alabama. And then Alabama-Texas rematch in the national title game. Texas gets them again. Texas wins your title.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em horns, baby.
I'm
Hook
gonna
'em
take.
horns.
I'm gonna take Washington to win it all.
I'm gonna go Bama the whole way.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mine's
I was
strictly
expecting
'cause
that, too.
I think Saban rolls.
Wait, so you got Bama, you got Washington, I got Texas. Please tell me you have
No,
Michigan
he's
winning it all.
around Bama with me.
I kind of like Bama, but if
Wait, who do
we,
you-
if we want all to take one, I'll go.
no. Take what you want to take.
Yeah,
Don't-
you can take who you want to
I
take.
like that.
I'm just
No,
saying
That'd be-
Washington.
I would say that'd be
If we all wanna
crazy.
ride one,
Let's-
if we all want to ride
Let's
one.
all do $25 in a pot, and whoever wins.
No.
Oh, let's- yeah.
No.
Reagan doesn't
I-
want to do that because his team's
No.
the favorite.
I
doesn't
don't
wanna
want
do that 'cause he doesn't know
I
college
think it would be a
balls.
punishment would be better.
A punishment?
Why do we need to do
Okay.
money? Why do the people on the podcast
Fine,
So
care
then
let's
about
do
what?
it.
Three
So
people
right now-
have to. Three
Well,
people.
Wait, a
Yeah.
3-person punishment?
Yeah, I think
If you're
that'd be
listening
funny.
in, decide the punishment for us.
Yeah,
That
we
would be
should
funny.
do that, man.
That's so
We'll
much
drop a
better.
clip.
Because
We'll drop
Why
the-
would anyone care about like us betting $25?
We'll drop the
Whoa.
clip.
We
We'll
drop-
drop the
Alright,
clip,
alright.
and then we'll see what the fans want.
Yeah, we got till January 1st. That's when the games start, but we all got our
Three-person
squad.
punishment?
Can we
Yeah.
take a look at the pinstripe bowl real
That's
quick?
awesome.
The U or Rutgers? I'm going with Rutgers.
Oh, yeah, we're taking Rutgers. We're definitely taking Rutgers.
In the home state? Come on.
I want to go so bad.
Okay.
I want to go. It's on a Thursday.
That's brutal.
I hope I could take
Yeah,
off.
so
I want
we'll
to take off
figure out a
Thursday,
punishment,
Friday.
but we all
Yeah, I
got
like
our
that.
teams,
We'll
I
let the
guess.
fans
Alright.
decide the
That's
punishment.
fun, man. That's fun. That's a good segment.
We'll take the top 4 and then do a poll.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll take the top 4 from whoever likes the most in the comments.
Oh,
and then we'll
I
do
get
that
what you're
too.
saying.
we'll
Yeah,
post
yeah,
the
yeah,
clip.
yeah.
I got you.
We can make the punishment as worse as possible.
No, everyone drops their punishments and we build a bracket and they vote and we do the punishment that's voted on.
A little bracket.
That'd be fun too. We'll figure it out.
Back to the NFL.
Back to the NFL. Yeah.
Well, he asked one more.
I don't know. Back to
question.
college. You're not running the questions here, Dave.
Austin said, "Shut your mouth, Brock." We're talking college for a little bit longer.
Austin, I'm sorry about that. I'd slam it. I'd slam his ass into a locker if I were you.
What do you guys think about Kyle McCord entering the transfer portal? Where does he go?
Yeah. Okay. So
Rutgers, because he's a Jersey kid.
I did see Rutgers as one of his
That would be
potential
sweet.
fits. That'd be interesting.
Monmouth, because he's a Jersey kid.
All right, yeah.
TCNJ because he's a Jersey kid.
I'll give you my pitch.
Strong.
Yo,
Go Lions.
I'll give you my Red Hawks pitch. Yo, we used to destroy the Lions every year. You should come play
That's
for the Red
not
Hawks.
true. We split my 4 years.
Sold.
Yeah, I wasn't on the team, so I really don't care, but I guess it means more to you.
So you know what's really interesting about Kyle McCord transferring? Ohio State goes 11-1 with their one loss to Michigan, and he was the starting quarterback all year, threw for over 3,000 yards.
So he's
had
going
a,
to Michigan,
Had a
you're
good
saying?
season. No. I'm saying the fact that he's transferring out after a one-loss season to Michigan, who's number 1 in the country, and he played really well, means Ryan Day has something up his sleeve. They're bringing in someone else. I think Ryan Day almost
Arch
forced
Manning?
him out.
Arch Manning?
I don't think Arch entered the transfer portal, so no. But
Well, you said something big up the sleeve, so.
yeah, but there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the transfer
Quinn
portal right
Ewers?
now.
Yeah, Gabriel's in the transfer portal.
No, because
now.
apparently Ewers is recruiting. Apparently, I think Ewers is going to go back to Texas for another
Caleb
year.
Williams?
No. I don't know.
Drake
I don't know
May?
who it's going to be, but something's
Well, come
going
on,
to
give a
happen.
prediction.
with Ohio
I
State.
just gave you like a
Gabriel.
bunch of. He's saying Gabriel.
You picked all the fucking guys going to the draft.
Okay, well, you set up something crazy up his sleeve, and that.
No, I don't know
that's
who
as
it
crazy
is,
as
but
it
like,
gets.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, I think McCord
Sanders?
got pushed out.
Shador, he leaves his dad and joins Ohio State.
That would be crazy.
That'd be
That
so
would be
fucking
crazy.
funny.
Or
That'd be hilarious.
Ryan Day gets fired and Dion and Shador go to Ohio State.
That would be nuts.
That would be nuts.
Dion brought the culture here, baby. They weren't already
That
in
would be
insane
that
football
would
school.
that would be nuts. Yeah, but it's just very interesting that he's leaving. I honestly have no idea where he's gonna go. I mean, I don't know because his OC just left and took a head job. I forget where, but it's like not a big time program. Might be like Toledo or something. He might go there. Like I don't know. I don't even know if he's gonna go to a big time school. I mean, it's very interesting that he's leaving.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Only time will tell, right?
Yeah, that's a good point, Reagan.
All right, now we're going back to the NFL.
Okay.
All right.
Jared Crampton's got a question.
What up, Cramps?
What's up, Crampster?
Cranberry.
Which quarterback would you rather add to your favorite team, Justin Herbert or C.J. Stroud? For sake of argument, they both have 4-year, $160 million deals.
Stroud. Easily.
So you just gave the Daniel Jones contract, so they're both locked in. We're obviously not for one season. This is for the future.
This is
I'm
obvious.
going
This
Justin
is-
Herbert.
Yeah, I'm going Herbert too.
I'm going Stroud.
I'm definitely going Justin
I
Herbert.
didn't like
God,
that.
I'm on the camera right now.
The thing is, I've been seeing Herbert do
he's
it
all
for
big,
years.
he's like-
Stroud's still a
last,
rookie.
like,
You know,
what,
I'd like to
4
see
or 5
Stroud do it
years.
for longer. I also think that Herbert's more talented, but I mean, not taking anything away from Stroud. He's balling out, but I'm going to rock with Justin Herbert on that one. I don't think Stroud's put himself up there yet, although he is right there.
How many touchdowns did they score yesterday? Chargers, that is.
0. You want to talk about one game? Like, how many touchdowns did the Texans score against the fucking Panthers?
Right.
That is true.
Like, come on, dude. You can't go off one game. I'm going off Justin Herbert's last 4 years. As compared to 11 or 12 games from Stroud.
Yeah, I mean, I lean Herbert with this, but I think you can go either way. I mean, if we're going for argument's sake, same contract. I mean, I guess Stroud's younger, but I guess in this scenario, you'd be like implying that they're both at the same point. So I'll just go off the history, and also like I'm watching Herbert this year. It's not really his fault. Like
it's not his fault.
I think no. I'm not gonna like. He does get a lot of blame. But he does get a lot of blame. But like watching some of these games, I mean, his wide receiver core is like non-existent. The defense just picks and chooses when they want to show up, and then like. What was it? Not watching them against the Ravens, and the week before, the wide receivers just have dropped so many passes that just hit him in the hands. And
they're also like not just slants, like they are ropes, 20 yards down the field, sideline throws that are just dropped.
And Austin Eckler also just looks washed.
He does look washed, man. Does he? Doesn't he look washed? He looks, dude. His rushing, like on the ground, like obviously he's still a good receiver, but on the ground, bro.
Once Staley's gone, people are gonna have a different feeling on Herbert next year. I think he might win the MVP. Next
also,
year.
What's funny, Reagan, is
it's a hot take.
Yeah, I took him this year. Maybe I'm a year too early, Reagan.
Next year MVP.
You know what's interesting too? You mentioned the defense picks and chooses when to show up. Their defense is terrible, even though they have so much talent. Who's the one calling the defense? Brandon Staley, your head coach.
Hey, I mean, they just showed up against the Patriots.
Like, the fact that they blew that game last year, obviously some of the blame should be on Herbert. Okay,
yeah.
He's not blameless.
I'm just
but
saying,
that's a huge coaching blunder.
I give Herbert more credit than I was, but he's still part of the problem.
All right, which Texans wide receiver do you think goes first in fantasy drafts next year?
Nico. All right,
Tank. Just out of all of them.
Yeah, next year. I mean, Nico or Tank. I think Tank probably has better name recognition because his name's literally Tank, and I think people think it's exciting because he's a rookie. Because Nico Collins has been in the league for a couple years now,
Yeah.
But like Nico Collins is on pace for how many, like 1,400 or 1,500 receiving yards this season. Like he's balling out. He almost had 200 the other day. Like I think Tank does go higher because he's Tank Dell and he's a rookie and like he's exciting and the whole story with Stroud wanting Tank. I think he has more of that.
See, I could
recognition, but
if we're going off of strictly on the roster right now, I'm going to go Nico. But I feel like they're going to make a move still. I feel like they're going to either go trade for somebody or they're going to draft someone in the first round.
In free agency, if there's a couple wide receivers, seeing what Stroud did, they're probably going to.
I could see them being a team trying to trade for Devontae Adams. To be honest, would that shock you guys? I mean, they're clearly ahead of schedule.
People are going to want to play for Stroud.
Yeah,
seeing what he's doing.
I mean, Nico and Tank are both young, so if you try to bring in a vet like that to help take the game to the next level, I think it's a good move.
Yeah, that's
I think
what I'm
it's
saying.
a good move.
I actually think it's going to be someone not on the roster right now. Yeah, I mean, if T. Higgins went there, I'm taking him over both of them. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's going to be someone not on the roster right now.
Yeah,
that's
I was thinking that.
I hope we can come back to this in March, Reagan, and you call that. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I won't get my flowers in March. Give it to me in draft season next year, when we know for certain.
All right, a little question. Who is leading the NFL in rushes of 15-plus yards this season?
Ooh, that's good.
Najee Harris.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, but then I was like, because I saw Joe smiling
at me. Shit on Najee, bro. I actually knew that.
Joe started smiling and looking at me right away, so I'm going to like Colin guess, but I was going to say Najee. Yeah. As soon as he asked the question, he locks eyes with me and he's just giggling. I'm like, who could it be?
It's not because like that gave it away. Like,
that's what gave it away for me.
So. I did know it. Like I did know that.
The one more than anybody.
Yeah, dude, I lost my parlay pick this week. Got stuffed at the one.
Hey, I think Najee's top 15 in rushing yards now, so he's catching up. He still needs another like 350 to catch McCaffrey, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean,
no Pickett, maybe a couple more carries.
Thursday night may have 300 yards.
Derrick Henry had like 250 something. What if he has the Derrick Henry versus Jaguars night? Starts it off with a 99-yard touchdown.
Yeah, maybe.
Bang.
Take it. Slam it.
Slam it.
All right, next from Walmart.
Wally.
Who are the most overrated players at each position? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and cornerback.
What was the last one? Cornerback? Quarterback.
I was going to say Dak before the season, but he shut me up. So Dak's played really well this season. Can't say Dak this year. Overrated at quarterback.
Herbert.
No. Herbert's not overrated. I mean, I'm going to keep going back to it. I want to say
he's
Brock Purdy so bad.
Slightly. There's a couple
Brock
guys.
Purdy's the favorite
it's
for
like
MVP.
you could be like
I'm
overrated.
that is,
you could be
I
like
see that,
I'm like,
actually.
that's overrated.
That's a pretty good one.
That's overrated as hell. But I think Brock Purdy's way too
Considering
overrated.
he's the most favored to be MVP right now, I would consider
Yeah.
him being overrated.
trying to think.
Yeah, because what he do without
It's
Trent
kinda
Williams and Debo, he was trash. And he's trash when they play from behind. The problem is that with that offense, the play action off McCaffrey and that defense, they're always ahead. But I mentioned in last week's pod, except Jalen Hurts did not play that well this week, but he was the number one quarterback when trailing in the second half.
Running back, you say.
Purdy was the worst.
Yeah, probably running back is Eckler right now.
Eckler's a good one for running back right now for sure,
I'm
I'd
trying to
say.
think of quarterback still because there's a couple guys that like, because like yeah, you could make a case for like that like tier close to Mahomes. Like all those guys might be slightly overrated because I think at times Josh Allen's overrated. I can even admit at times Hurts is overrated. Prescott, Herbert, like all those guys, I feel like at times can be overrated because the one minute they're talking them up like they're Mahomes-esque, and then the next minute it's like, how could we ever put them in the same conversation?
Yeah, you see the flashes and then you.
Josh
like-
Allen's a good one.
Yeah, I think Allen's overrated.
This
Like
one-
I think he's good, like he's really good, but like they put him in the same conversation as Mahomes at times, and it's like to me, he's not in that conversation. Where I know he's elite still, like he is top 5. I still think he's overrated, even though he's top 5.
This is another one for you that's not as, blatant, but what about Jared Goff? Like the guy that got shipped out from Los Angeles, and now he goes to Detroit, and they were bad for a while, but they built up
I feel
elite.
like he's doing like he's kind of like I don't
Actually-
think anyone's really saying he's like.
Yeah, no one's really hyping up.
I feel like
Jared
I
Goff.
know, but I don't think he's as good as his statistics are. I think he has a lot of good things going around him. So, and that's, he got shipped out. So,
Yeah.
but again, that's one where it's like people don't talk about him as much. So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's the most overrated, but I think he's
So running
overrated.
back, yeah, Eckler's a good one. Tony Pollard's a good one.
Your boy Tony.
I know. Well,
Tony.
He
Tony.
hasn't been the same since.
Tony-
that's the thing, because
the ankle.
everyone was like,
The ankle.
"Oh, as soon as Zeke leaves, like this guy's gonna take off," and like I
Yeah.
still believe in him for fantasy, but he's definitely not returning. Like he doesn't look the same on the field. Like he doesn't have that explosiveness. I'd say Najee, but I don't think anyone was ever rating him. I think I was the only one that was.
I think Eckler's the best choice.
I'm trying to think who else.
I think Joe Mixon is so
I was about
overrated.
to say
Miles-
Mixon. I was about to say Mixon, but he's scoring today.
Joe Mixon is
heard
ass.
it here first.
Joe Mixon is
Miles
actually a
Sanders,
bad
too.
running back.
Miles
Yeah,
Sanders
but
coming
everyone
into
knows
this
he's
year.
trash now.
Yeah,
Now.
well, after last year, because Miles Sanders had
Everyone
1,000.
coming
it's
into
like,
this year,
if you don't
I
go
was
for 1,000
hyping him up.
behind that offensive line, you suck.
Yeah, I mean, I was
That's
hyping him
true.
up going into this year. So
What about wide receiver?
Oh man,
Chase.
no, shut the hell up, dude. Come on.
there's probably an obvious one that we're not thinking of.
An overrated receiver.
Adams.
T. Higgins,
T. Higgins is a good one, except he's injury prone.
Chris Godwin at this point.
Who's underrated? Sutton.
Sutton's Sutton's low key underrated. Yeah.
I don't want to say Cooper Kupp because he's
Yeah, I
been
was
hurt all year,
just
but
thinking
he's
about
having a really
Cooper
bad
Kupp.
season. But but he has 2 ankles, so it's tough to call him overrated.
Debo until last night.
Yeah.
What about DK Metcalf? It just seems like he
After
disappears.
last game,
No, it
he's
just
scary.
but
Well,
that's the
yeah.
thing. It seems like he disappears for a month and you don't hear about him, and then he explodes and has
Yeah.
these crazy athletic
Factor the
plays, but he's not as
36
consistent.
Factor
He's not as
that last
consistent.
game out for sure.
Yeah, he's not as consistent. It's tough, man. It's tough.
What about for corners?
Corners.
Who gets toasted just like a lot?
Well, I mean, you could say Bland, but I mean, he's got like.
Well, before the
That's
season,
like
a lot
an
of people were going to
obvious-
say Trayvon Diggs because
But
Trayvon
yeah, I
would
Diggs
say
had all the
Trayvon
picks,
Diggs.
but he lets up a
Yeah.
fuck
I
ton
mean,
of yards.
Bland's like overrated in the sense where like he got cooked for like 200 yards, but then he also had like the pick.
He did
Like,
have
we
the
watched him
pick.
get cooked against Seattle, and like I was one, and I'm sure a lot of people in the media were like, could this guy win Depoy? And like, yeah, he still can, but like he is overrated in the sense that like he can't cover for shit, but he does have big impact plays.
Not a corner, but a DB that I was thinking about this. Jamal Adams, so overrated, bro.
I don't even know if he's overrated
He's
anymore.
ass.
Yeah,
I don't think
he
everyone
can't
knows
cover
it.
any.
I don't think you can
And
call
he's
him
always
overrated
hurt.
anymore. I don't think anyone's giving him the respect
one's-
anymore.
Nah, he's not even that good, bro. The fact they gave up 2 first-round picks to
I
Jets for
guess
that
so.
was
Woolen
ridiculous.
hasn't been good this year.
Woolen, yeah.
Woolen's gotten benched this year, so
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
that's a good one.
Well, they were all like, "Oh, how could Woolen should be the rookie of the year over Sauce and All Pro over Sauce?" And
In
now,
that last
now it
game,
happened.
he had like 2 or 3 like big penalties.
Yeah.
Like the pass interference and then like a.
Trying to
the
think
whole
who
thing.
else. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some other guys. We just got to give it a little more thought. But it's a good question.
It is a good question. It's tough to think of corners that are overrated, you know.
Next we got Max.
Heath.
All right. way too early breakouts for next year.
Ooh.
For fantasy, I'm assuming.
I think. Well, you can go both ways. If you're
Yeah,
breaking
because
out
it's
in real
doing the
football
same
and
thing.
on offense, you're breaking out. But you can go defense as well.
I'm just gonna go from a fantasy perspective because I feel like that's the best way to do it.
Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, I just said he's gonna be MVP, so it's just
Josh Allen.
No, he's not gonna break out. He's like, what more
He
could
could
he
do a
do?
hell of a lot better than he's doing this year.
Yeah, true. But I feel like Herbert.
I think Jackson Smith-Njigba, I think he takes over for Tyler Lockett's the number 2. I think JSN is going to have a really good second year. I thought he was going to be the best receiver in this draft class long term. So
Garrett Wilson.
I like JSN.
Just with Aaron Rodgers coming
give
back.
Garrett Wilson a quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers will be back, so
Aaron
like
Rodgers.
all that hype he had is just gonna return going into next season. Who else?
That's a good one. Man.
Jalen Warren, I think, is going to get a lot of hype going into next year because he's been super explosive.
Like leading league in rushing type of hype, or
I don't know.
he's going to surpass Najee as the one. I think they have a good Thunder Lightning thing going.
I think he's going to get a lot of hype going into next year. Like, he's going to be a sleeper.
I think ETN could become one of the best running backs in football next year.
I feel like people are going to draft Laporta really high.
They are. Laporta.
Yeah.
Laporta's already had his breakout.
Yeah. But like he's gonna like probably be like that too. I think. Like I don't even know. Maybe Kelsey falls off a cliff.
How about Dalton Kincaid? I like Dalton Kincaid.
I
He's
like Kincaid.
started to come
Kincaid's
on the
got a
second
lot.
half when Knox went out, but I think they've seen good things from Kincaid, and I think he becomes the number 1 next year, and he's the full-time starter, and he is a receiving tight end by nature. So I think for fantasy in particular, I think he's going to be a top 8 tight end next year.
Yeah, it's a good take. It's a good take.
Ooh.
Brock Bowers.
Especially in that
Brock
Bills
Bowers.
offense. Yeah.
Can't forget about him when he's on the Jets. I don't know. I'm sure there's some more guys. Some of these are good questions, like on the spot. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this one you guys might need to do some research for, but it's the top week 14 matchups for fantasy in any position. What are your favorites?
Favorites for week 14.
yeah, I mean, running back wise, I would say if you can get Zeke, put him in because as soon as Ramondre's out already, as soon as he went down, like he was getting a ton of targets. He's gonna get all the work. I don't see any other backs being involved. I think he had like 11 fantasy points, like which isn't great, but I mean still like they had 0 points, so like there's no touchdown. So I think he'll get all the goal line work. He'll get a ton of like checkdowns from Zappy because I believe it's Zappy again. So he's a guy I'm trying to target if he's on your waivers. I mean I think most people have him, but if you can get him, he's a guy I like a lot against Pittsburgh.
I love the Dolphins receivers against the Titans next week, but that's Monday night.
And you're also those. I mean, come on, those are locked in. I think that he's more so going for like guys.
I'm
that
just
you can
saying.
pick
I'm
up
just
and
looking at
play.
matchup because I'm not just talking fantasy. I'm talking like betting wise too.
Oh, all right.
I'm
fair enough,
trying to
fair
find
enough.
good matchups. You know, like
Fair
I don't love Denver,
Bears,
LA.
Lions.
I mean,
the Lions only open up as 3.
Well, yeah, they almost
3-point
got beat the
favorites.
last time
That's
they
crazy.
played.
yeah, but
crazy.
David Montgomery revenge game last time paid dividends. He
Yeah, it
scored and
did.
had 80 yards, so I like Montgomery to have a good game again.
I like Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney. I think you could start too. Lions defense is trash.
I think that's going to be a fun game to watch. I do
Yeah,
like
high
exposing
scoring.
that matchup for sure. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown's matchup proof. I mean, I love his props against the Bears as well.
I think Geno Smith against the 49ers actually is a good play.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed to be back against the Cowboys, and I think they have to air it out now, the running game. Charbonnet is already going to be out, it sounds like. Kenneth Walker, I don't know if he's going to be in or out, but if he's out as well, like, he's going to be airing it out a lot. I think they're going to be down trailing, so I think Geno's a great play for fantasy-wise, and even betting-wise, I think he's going to throw a lot of yards.
I know we've been saying this, but Taysom Hill once again with
Oh,
no
well, he's
Derek
locked
Carr,
in.
with
He's
no
got to be locked in
He
your
got
lineup.
stuffed
with
this
no
week.
with no
He
Derek
still did score
Carr,
once.
and they're also playing Carolina.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he got stuffed the second time around. Yeah, no, he could have had an insane week, though.
Who?
Taysom.
Oh, Kamara could have had a crazy one too because he got that touchdown called back.
I know. They both stole one from
Yeah.
each other. Who else? I mean, yeah. I mean, the Colts Bengals should be high scoring, so I'd probably start that. I think Browning, you'll see tonight if he has a good game. I think you could definitely stream him against
Dude,
the
honestly,
Colts
looking
next
at
week.
this slate, man, there's a lot of really low totals. Like,
Yeah.
the highest total
Yeah.
I'm seeing is Bills Chiefs at 47. No, Eagles Cowboys 52.5.
Jesus.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'd start all options. I think Goddard will be back, so he's a guy you
Ooh,
can plug
not
right
even.
back
I mean,
in.
obviously you could start CeeDee Lamb, but Brandon
Yeah,
Cooks.
can
Brandon,
you start CD?
Brandon Cooks against the Eagles
I was
secondary.
thinking about putting him on
Yeah, I
the
mean,
bench.
Someone
for
explodes
all
against
the
that
you guys
Eagles.
who have been like debating, like, do I start CD?
You just gave me
You're
shit for
starting
saying
him.
the Dolphins. I'm saying obviously you're going to start CD, but Brandon Cooks is going to have a good game against
Yeah,
this
I
Eagles
think
secondary.
Brandon Cooks
All right.
Jesus
is
Christ,
going
Maybe
man.
Rico Daddle.
Can I
Could you put
finish
him
my
in too, or
fucking-
no?
I mean, if you're feeling ballsy, but I wouldn't.
I mean, there's bye weeks, though. What if you need a pinch running back? I think you could play him.
All right, hypothetically, if the Jets had the option between Marv and Olulu, is that how you pronounce it?
Lou Fashanu, the tackle from Penn State.
guy. Who would you rather have?
I mean, the fanboy in me wants Marv, but, like, obviously I think the bigger need for us right now is O-line, so I don't really know much about the linemen. I didn't think I'd have to be looking in the mock drafts at this point, so I'm really going to have to research it, but I've heard the guy from Penn State, that's where he's from.
Yeah,
State,
he's
supposed to be the best out of all of them.
he's
so
a lock top 10.
I know the guy from Notre Dame's pretty good,
For
too.
sure.
Well, the guy from Notre Dame is predicted to win the best offensive lineman this season,
Yeah.
but I think Olu has better tools
Yeah.
long
That's
term.
what
So
everyone's
I just
saying,
think we have to get
'Cause
a.
he's freaking huge.
I think we have
Yeah.
to get an. Yeah, he's the Notre Dame guy's like 6'8", 320. I was looking today, but we need to get an O lineman bad. So I mean, obviously I'd love Harrison, but if we go out and get Devontae Adams, which you said you're predicting, I think there's a good chance we can get him.
And we'll know that before the draft.
That'll
so.
solve the whole Harrison issue. So it's like either at that point, if we're in a spot to draft the lineman, I think we have to because clearly that's our biggest hole right now and is one of the big issues why our quarterbacks have no time.
I do think you have a better shot at one of the tackles as well as Marv, because the only way
Yeah,
Marv
because-
falls out of the top 3 is if
Team wants a
someone
quarterback.
really wants a quarterback and it's like they're sold on Jaden Daniels
Or if you
Bo
really
Nix.
need an offensive lineman, like if the Jets have the third pick, like I mean, are they definitely taking?
I don't know, because
like,
I think
they might go lineman and just be like, look,
Smart.
like you know what I mean? Like yeah, you could
ever
trade
see
it away.
Fans too getting mad at like an offensive lineman, like you just know it's the smart move.
Yeah,
for your
because
team.
we need it, and that's
You don't know
our
if they're
biggest
gonna
hole
get
right
that.
now. So
I mean, when you look at the top of the draft, like I think New England's going to go quarterback for sure. I think Chicago goes quarterback most likely. But then like you start looking at that 3 range, like the Cardinals, it looks like they're probably going to stick with Kyler Murray, and right now they're set on the 3. I think they took Paris Johnson last year. I think
well,
they
could
take
get
take
another
Marv.
tackle, man. They could get another tackle.
Yeah, but they have
both-
they have a good left tackle already too, and
Yeah,
DJ
but-
Humphries, so they don't really
Yeah,
need a
that's
tackle.
true.
So they would go Marv, and then it's like
probably yeah, because they're not going to go Bowers. McBride's a beast.
yeah, like they would go Marv, and then it's like okay, Jets, Giants, like could both use receiver or tackle.
It'll be interesting.
Commanders definitely need tackle over receiver, but if you're at 3, like do you just not take Marv? Like I don't know, it gets interesting based on team needs. But it does help that for the Giants and Jets, what they need is tackle and receiver, and there's a lot of them at the top of the draft.
Yeah.
Last from Churf.
What up, Sheriff?
What's up, Dalf?
As a holder of a plus 3,200 for 600, Brock
Oh, 20.
Purdy.
Wait, 20 for 600. Yeah.
Yeah. Brock Purdy MVP ticket. What would you guys advise I do? Can't cash out, by the way.
Then what do you
Hedge.
No.
Yeah, hedge. Is
I don't think you
probably
do.
asking.
I don't think you do anything, Churf. I don't think there's anything you can do right now. Like who are you gonna hedge on?
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
plus
who you gonna hedge on?
Like your
You
other
could hedge-
options
you could hedge
are
Jelly too.
Hurts
at
and
plus 350.
Well, I think
and
Lamar-
Prescott
I
and
think
all
Lam-
those guys.
I think Lamar's
I think you
the
just wait, stand pat, man. Like at the end of the day, like if Purdy ends up sucking, it sucks. But like there's too many guys right now. There's no like last year we got to a point where we knew it was Mahomes or Hurts. Right now there's like 5 or 6 guys, so you can't do anything right now but hold the ticket and hope for the best.
Yeah, I'd give
think
it
as
I'd give
soon
it a
as you
week or
know
two.
there's- If it comes to a point where it's Purdy and one other guy, and you're like, all right, I know it's going to be one of these two, you hedge and throw. I don't know. You decide how much you want to make. But
How are the rest
there's
of the
nothing
Niners,
you can do yet.
What's the rest of the Niners season looking like?
I don't even know if it's more of a season. I just
I mean,
think
great
there's.
ticket.
I don't even think it matters. I think they like went out.
It's not
The way
even
they
that.
look.
It's just like
I got their schedule up.
he's asking if he should hedge or not. Like I would say ride as of now because I don't think there's anyone you could know for certain that's like definitely
Okay,
going to win.
so I have a point with that, but first let me say the schedule. They got Seattle, Arizona, Baltimore, Commanders, Rams. I mean,
So Baltimore
on that schedule, yeah, I mean, Baltimore's the big one. So, like you said, Reagan, you don't really know who to hedge with. Give it one more week. Philly's about to play Dallas. Prescott and Hurts are both at the top of the MVP standings. If one plays significantly better than the other, like if the Eagles beat the hell out of Dallas and Hurts balls out, then Dak's probably going to slide down a lot, and you could hedge with Hurts. Now, if Dallas goes in and upsets the Eagles and Dak outperforms Hurts, then Dak becomes that number 2.
Yeah.
And Dallas is right up the Eagles' ass for the
I
division.
think the bigger thing is if I think as for that ticket, you're hoping that the Eagles win because they've already beaten the Cowboys once. So if they beat them a second time, then it's going to become the Hurts-Purdy. But I think if the Cowboys win, then it's still that 3-person rate. So I don't see Hurts going down that much from this because they already beat Dallas. They've already won some big games. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the big thing with the Cowboys is who have they beat? We've seen the Eagles beat big teams. Like Hurts beat the Bills. Hurts beat the Chiefs. Hurts beat the Cowboys already. So I think even if the Eagles are to lose, I think Hurts' value might go down slightly, but he's still in the conversation where if Dak loses this game, I think he goes down a lot.
It's a good point. I agree.
So
Lots of talk for a $20 ticket.
yeah. But I mean,
or just ride it like a horse.
Yeah, you just ride it like a horse. Hey, ride it like a horse.
I'm going to stop you right there, Drock.
Put $80 on Brock Purdy.
Hold on. I'm going to stop.
Make that 100.
I'm going to stop you right there, Drock. We do not unit shame on this podcast. That is not cool. That is not cool. Sorry, Mr. Slam It over there is getting all this like
It's a
Slam It
Chipotle
money.
burrito from me.
Oh, he's getting all this Slam It money coming in, so he'd be throwing like.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys. Thanks to Drock, I can pay for 3 of my children to go to Harvard. So. I really slammed Hurts touchdown this week.
That's what Drock does.
Thanks to Drock, I can pay for the heating in my house for 1 more week.
Hey, he's got you this week. He's cooking up something good.
Ooh.
Maybe a 2-leg parlay.
What's the record now, Drock?
9-4.
9-4.
Yeah, 9-4. I think.
God,
It's pretty freaking good.
That's really
call him
good.
an ATM.
That's
Drock's
really
face
good.
on an ATM
Drock has
machine.
not rolled it over though. He's
What's
been
that?
taking it straight.
What's that meme of little baby just?
Can we
That's
reenact it,
Drock.
maybe?
Yo, we gotta reenact that.
Little
Drock
Drock?
just counting all the
Yeah,
Drock's lock
maybe.
money.
All right. Any more questions we got?
Yeah,
Or?
that's it.
All right, let's take a quick break and come back with a recap of Week 13.
The camera died in like half of that.
Oh my. Yeah,
That question went on for so long.
Oh my God. What's up, everybody? I'm here to tell you about Worst Manhattans. And what I want you guys to do is go check them out on Instagram. Their name is Worst_Manhattans. And then from there, I want you to click the link in their bio, go to their website, check it out, and then also try their store finder tool because then it'll tell you the closest location to where you live to go pick up a bottle of Worst Manhattans because we enjoy it. We love to have it on a Sunday when we're watching football. So we want you guys to do it too. So go try out that store finder tool and go get your bottle today because it's the best. All right, guys, welcome back in. We're going to get right into the recap from Week 13. What do we got first, Colin?
Thursday Night Football. Dallas, 41-35 win over the Seahawks. A barn burner.
Yeah,
The
dude, I love
definition
this game.
of it, Reagan. Dallas is now 9-3. Seattle drops to 6-6.
They're actually out of the playoff picture now, Seattle. Or, I mean, they're in the playoff picture still, but
Not
they're in
in-
the hunt. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
they're
not
still,
in the field.
They're still, yeah. So they were, I think, the 5, or no, I'm sorry, they were either the 6 or 7 seed, and now they're the 8 or 9 with Green Bay winning, and who else won? Somebody else won that knocked them out. But anyway, Seattle's now on the outside looking in from this, but for you guys that have Geno in fantasy, he finally delivers with a huge game. DK, probably won your week if you started him. I mean, I'm
6
sure.
for 134 and 3 touchdowns from
Yeah,
Metcalf.
so if you had him, safe to say you probably won your week. If not,
Just a
that is
wild
just
game.
a brutal beat.
Just a
Charbonnet
wild
had a
game.
good game as well.
19 for 60 and a touchdown, and he added a 39-yard reception as well, Reagan. 99 yards in the day for Charbonnet stepping
Sucks.
in.
He could have had an even bigger game because he
Walker.
left early with the knee injury. It sounds like he's going to miss this week. I think Carroll came out and said his knee was like all puffed up. And on the Dallas side, CD obviously continues to dominate.
12, 116 and touchdown.
Just got to keep starting him. Dak just has been like the best fantasy quarterback.
299,
over the past,
3 touchdowns.
I think 5 or 6 games he's the top fantasy quarterback, and on the season I think he's 3 or 4. So he's an auto start at quarterback at this point. And then Jake Ferguson finally, he had a couple bad weeks, but he seems to be one of those must-start tight ends in my opinion.
6 for 77 and a touchdown. Dak Prescott loves his tight ends. Dallas finally gets a win over a team with a winning record, Reagan, but now they don't have a winning record. They're 6-6.
Yeah, well, still.
And I mean, honestly, allowing 35 to Seattle, not a good look
No.
for the Cowboys, especially when you have the Eagles on deck this week.
Yeah.
But, a lot of points scored. We finally had a primetime game where it was fun to watch, brother.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Next, the Colts beat the Titans 31-28. They improved to 7-5 behind
This
Gardner
game-
Minshew. He said it's not sexy, but man, it's good.
This
Man,
game
it's
was
good.
wild, dude.
I had a juicy parlay. It was a good game, but
You could blame the Titans. 2 punts in a row were blocked.
And then the special teams coordinator.
Fucking point.
Yeah.
Well, that was more
No,
on
do you think that
Tannehill.
game is over if he
Yeah,
If he
I
draws
do.
extra
Yes,
point?
it is. But I mean, that's also Tannehill. That's your backup holder coming in
Yeah.
because your punter. I mean, it shouldn't even gotten to that point. You shouldn't get back-to-back punts blocked.
Well, that's why he lost his job, the special teams coordinator. Did you not see that this morning?
I didn't, but I believe
Yeah,
it.
Release him?
Back-to-back punts blocked. Vrabel said, "Yeah, you're done, fired."
And also, the punter, I believe, is probably going to be pretty Stonehouse. I think it's how you pronounce it. Who's been an All-Pro before, very good punter. So, but I think he got injured. So, not ideal for the Titans. I was on the Colts with this. This was one of the games I got right.
Yeah, I
Kind
was
of just done
on
with the Titans at this point.
here.
I think now I officially have to drink the mayo in the coffee. What? Right?
Yeah, they're. I mean,
What's their
if
record
they
right now?
4-8, they got to win 5 in a row. Right?
Oh, you never know. We've seen crazier.
I thought you waved that one, but yeah,
No,
Minshew.
I did. I thought it was officially done now. So.
Yeah, Minshew played really well, man. Threw for 312, 2 touchdowns. Moss 19 for 51 on the ground. Not his best day, but granted, the Titans are better on the ground than they
Wait,
are
what
through
did
the
Minshew
air.
have against Saturday?
He threw for 312 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so that was one of the guys that I remember. Caleb Dean was asking who he should start at quarterback, and Minshew was a guy we both said we liked this week. So hopefully he started him because he had a big week for fantasy.
Let's
Good job, guys.
pat ourselves on the back for that one. Let's go.
Good job.
Michael Pittman, man, continues his hot streak.
Yeah,
11
he's
catches for 105 and a touchdown. Finally, that breakout. And Alec Pierce, man, that deep ball, 55-yard touchdown was pretty from Minshew. Perfect ball, 3 for 100 and a touchdown.
Now my thing with Pittman is, would he be doing this with Anthony Richardson? Because he's been so good.
He was
with
playing
Gardner
well.
Minshew.
He was playing well in the beginning of the season
Yeah.
with Richardson.
So hopefully, or for you guys that have him in Dynasty, hopefully this continues because Gardner Minshew targets the crap out of this guy. It's by far his best weapon. So for those of you who have him in Dynasty, hopefully it continues that way next year. But temper expectations.
Yeah, he has 87 for 889 and 4 touchdowns
That's what
on
I'm
the
saying.
season.
He's getting a ton of targets. If you watch that game, Gardner Minshew's first read, every Colts play, either a handoff to Zach Moss or just instantly throwing to Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I will say with Richardson, he did have 8 and 9 catches the first 3 games for 97, 56, and 77.
So that's good. That's promising.
The Rams, he only had 1 catch for 5 yards, but yeah, he was
That's still
doing
promising,
well
though.
with Richardson. So for next year in fantasy, definitely a guy that you can target and feel pretty comfortable about. He's going to get high volume and be a solid contributor. On the Titans side, Levis continues to struggle, 16 of
Yeah.
33, completion percentage below 50. That's really been his
And him and
troublesome.
D-Hop were getting into it on the sideline,
Yes,
too.
yeah, they were screaming at each
Yeah.
other. Levis is, I mean, that's kind of one of his knocks in college. He wasn't the most accurate player, but they kind of blamed it on injuries. I don't know. He has that gunslinger mentality, but you need to get the completion percentage up if you want to win games in the National Football
Henry
League.
left with a concussion, but then Rabel came out and said he doesn't have a concussion. So
Yeah, he
he's
had
fine.
21 for 102 and 2 touchdowns. That hit that he took, you don't really see people hit Derrick Henry like that very often.
Yeah, he
Tough
got
one.
rocked.
And then Hopkins 5 for 75 and a touchdown, but not good in Tennessee.
Colts seem to be primed for a playoff spot, though. Got to keep winning.
Very interesting. Who had the Colts on their bingo card to make the playoffs?
Not me.
Not me. Definitely not me. Chargers beat the Patriots 6-0.
Yeah,
Reagan.
with not much to talk
They're
about
5
here.
and 7. Patriots
MVP
are
of the
2
game,
and 10.
Cameron Dicker. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, really not much to say. Bailey Zappi 13 to 25 for 141. Doesn't matter who plays quarterback.
Pick up Zeke in fantasy. I said it
Seems
before,
terrible.
but pick up Zeke in
Yeah,
fantasy.
he had 17
Ramondre's-
for 52.
They don't even know how long he's going to be out, but odds are, I think he's going to be out probably
Picking
for.
him up right now.
You should.
Thanks to Reagan Lotion.
I think,
around
dude,
the
I
felt.
think Ramondre is going to be out for the rest of the season. I really do. I mean,
very
what's
well
the point
could
of
be.
rushing him back?
Yeah, I mean,
The
they have
season's
2
over.
wins. They have 2 wins. Don't bring him back
So
because he's
Zeke,
not ready.
Zeke could be a sneaky league winner.
That is an interesting take there. I mean,
He's
that
going to
would,
get a ton of volume. And,
but they also don't score more than 10 points in any game. So
yeah, but the thing is, they were both capping each other's upside, and there doesn't seem to be another back there. So if Zeke's getting all the volume.
yeah, it's a good point. All right, Reagan, your Saints dropped to 5 and 7. You
Yeah,
starting to
yep,
sweat
yep.
that one out?
Yeah,
be a
it's
glizzy
gonna be
gobbler?
sweaty. It's going to be sweaty. They're going to have to run the table.
Yeah, you actually need him to win 5 in a row.
You know what's going to suck?
That went downhill really fast.
You know
They've
what's
lost
gonna
3 in a
suck?
row. That went downhill
what's gonna
very
suck?
quickly for you, brother.
You know what's going to suck? I'm probably going to have to do this punishment. No, I'm definitely going to have to do this punishment, and then I'm going to be like, fuck the Saints, and then they're going to go and win the division. And I'm going to be watching this team in the playoffs when they won 8 games. When
At
they get
8 and
in
9?
8 and 9, and I'm going to be like,
You gotta do the punishment.
this fucking team, man.
Even though you
And then
predicted
they're going to
it.
go out and win a playoff game, too, and I'm going to be like, this fucking team now wants to figure it out after I had to eat
dude.
12 hot dogs.
Yeah, they had 3-game losing streak for the Saints. They did hang with the Lions, though.
The good thing, hey, as long it looks like we might be doing our NFC punishments together. I mean, the Falcons aren't dead yet. You're definitely feeling a lot more confident than me with yours, but
I also have 8.5.
you do have 8.5.
Not 9.5. It's a
but-
big difference. It's a big
Yeah.
difference.
Oh, yeah, it's a big difference. That's for sure.
Yeah, so for the Lions, Jared Goff throws for 213, 2 touchdowns.
You know what? Fuck it. Saints go 5 and 12. I'll eat 12 one glizzy for every loss.
You eat one. So if what if they go 6-11? You eating one more glizzy or no?
I mean, the punishment's 12, so I don't have a choice. It'd just be better.
Oh, it's 12 glizzies? I thought it was 10 for some reason.
Dozen.
The dozen glizzies?
Yeah,
all right, so
come
you're
on.
doing it regardless, brother.
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Like, at least it'll like feel better. Like, I'm doing this one for each loss.
You guys and glizzies, man.
We love our glizzies.
I'm gonna be
Yo.
so good.
Now I don't
I'm gonna
love
be
them
so
anymore.
much better at housing them than Colin ever could.
I don't know.
Well, I also had him
think so?
with beer.
Yeah, he got him down pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, he was like a Hoover back with that shit.
Yo, that's a good little simile you got right there.
Thanks, man.
For the Lions side, Gibbs 8 for 60 on the ground. Montgomery 18 for 56 and a touchdown. Jameson Williams had that nice touchdown run, man. That's the type of speed that got him picked 12th overall in the draft. That was really impressive. You saw that?
I did.
Those
Yeah,
turbo
he was
boosters.
flying.
He
What I
was
will say is,
flying.
though,
That was sick.
Lions defense, man, like I still have no confidence in this team. They get up huge. You let this putrid offense come back and make it a game. They almost lost this game. Like
They did.
so,
They're up 24-7.
I'm telling you, man. I have no. They're losing in the first round. I'm telling you. I have no confidence in this team until they figure out how to play defense, which they have yet to do. When's the last time they allowed less than like 25 points in a game? Every week they get cooked.
I don't know. I know you took the Saints spread in this one because you said something's got to give. Well, the Lions defense did give. It's just that they scored a ton of points.
Yeah. I mean, the line we got was 4, and the Lions did cover at 4.
They covered. They won by 5. And Sam Laporta, baby, 9 for 140 and a touchdown. The next leading receiver was Amon-Ra with only 2 catches for 49 yards. No one else had more than 1 catch. So this was Sam Laporta leading the way. If you stashed him in fantasy, good for you, man, because he looks like he's going to be one of the top tight ends in the league for a long time.
Does, yeah.
And now the Saints
It's funny because he came from Iowa, a team that just never has an offense. Like all
never have an offense,
about all
but
these
God damn
weapons
it,
that are in
Iowa
the
tight
NFL.
ends, bro. Iowa tight ends. You just know they're going to be good. If you see a tight end in your fantasy draft and he's from Iowa, like a rookie, just freaking take him. Just stash
Might as
him.
well.
I
Yeah.
mean, odds are he's going to be at least good.
Yeah.
For the Saints, Olave, big game, 5 for 119,
Yeah,
and
finally.
now they have to turn to Jameis Winston. He went 2 of 5 for 41 yards with Carr. Most likely going to be out for a little bit. Taysom Hill had 13 carries. I mean, he's clearly going to be heavily involved in this offense, but Saints are still in the thick of things in that division, though.
I
Somehow,
know.
some way.
If they don't win 9.5 games, just I hope they miss the playoffs. They better not make it.
Yeah, I hate when teams make the playoffs under 500. It's just like,
Yeah.
get the hell out of
All
here.
right, let's
dude.
speak of another ugly game now.
Speak another ugly game. Falcons 13-8. We knew this was going to be a low-scoring one, brother. Desmond Ridder was...
Would we both
Wait,
said
whoa, didn't we say the unders?
we said the unders. We both said 13-10. I was Jets 13-10. You were Falcons 13-10.
13-8, right
Oh,
there! Right
Jets got
there!
another safety.
The Jets didn't get a safety. Oh,
Man. Wow.
damn, man. I called
Look at
13-10.
us.
That would have been nice. And we both said under for Tim Boyle and Desmond Ritter. Ritter went 12 of 27
Yeah,
for
this game was ugly,
121.
man. Well, we got an assist.
touchdown.
Boyle was so bad, but he got benched. And we
He got benched, so Simeon came in through for 66. Boyle went 14 to 25.
Yeah, Simeon also
148,
fumbled the
and an
ball 3
interception.
times. So for all those Chet fans out there, like, why is he not playing? He fumbled the ball 3 times.
Yeah, only lost one,
No
but
pocket.
still
Yeah,
terrible.
but still no pocket presence.
Dalvin Cook finally starts to get some touches. He had like probably his best run as a Jet, and it was like, what? How long was it? It was 14 yards,
Yeah,
and then he fumbled.
Yeah, the season's over, man.
Season's over. Brees Hall 13 for 16 yards. Oh,
This
man.
line's terrible. We can't block. We're putting in guys that can't play quarterback. I'm so done with it. Defense is still playing hard, clearly, but the season's lost.
yeah. Garrett Wilson 3 for 50. He did have 7 targets. I mean,
Yeah.
I know they're trying to force him the ball, but
Garrett Wilson and Brees, you have to keep playing for fantasy, but just temper expectations.
I think I saw a stat where like this is the worst offense in like expected points added per play, which is like a
Well, you
next
know what
gen
I
type
heard?
of stat,
We
like
have more-
ever.
We have more safeties in the first quarter than we do touchdowns. We have
Yeah.
3 first quarter
It-
safeties.
Reagan, this is
which
one of the worst
nuts.
offenses in NFL history.
I know. That's what sucks because we had
It's
Rodgers. We could have been insane this year. Our defense is so freaking good.
I know.
It sucks. It sucks.
It's weird, man. It's
All right,
weird.
we're on the next year in the mock draft, so
Yep.
let's move on.
Falcons 6-6, leading the division. Come on, baby. 3 more wins. 3 more wins.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby. Next, oh my God, this one breaks my heart. Cardinals beat the Steelers 24-10. I am
upset
now
pick of the week.
eliminated in Survivor.
I took
Drock
it
hit
as
his
my
parlay
upset.
leg.
All
Reagan's
over
upset of the
cards.
week,
All over the
and I'm out of
How
Survivor.
could you not?
I didn't have many options, bro. It was
No,
week 13. Like,
So you weren't on them like as a gambler or just as a fan. You were on them because you had to be on them. Is
I
that
got the
correct?
funny-
I was on
got a
them.
funny text
Well, I did
about
have
it.
them in like a 5-leg parlay, but I was on them for Survivor. I didn't really have any good options. Playing the Arizona Cardinals with 2 wins was my best option.
Yeah, but they're at 2 wins.
What was your thought process
you guys-
behind taking the Steelers?
I don't like the two-win things because, let's be honest, it's not like Kyler's been there the whole time.
No, I know, but like they're definitely a different team with Kyler, obviously.
Yeah.
But still, it's not a good roster on paper. Regardless, the defense is still pathetic. Like the fact that the Steelers scored 10 points is just
Well, their offense is pathetic.
awful. It's awful.
Also,
yeah, but the week before they went for 400 yards, so I thought maybe they had a little bit of life in them, and I thought their running game.
And they were home.
Funny text message here from one of the guys in the pools. I'm not going to name names, but he goes, "Cocky Colin Tong, out." Oh, that's so funny because
Who's in that?
this person saw. So originally Matt Scherf got kicked out, and I'm like, "See ya," I was talking crap to him. I got booted. Then Colin was like, "See ya, Reagan Losher," and he got kicked out. So it's just been the train of don't get cocky and
Yeah, as soon as someone goes "see ya," then they lose the next week.
So
I actually don't see that text in here.
no,
so.
he texted it to me. I'm saying privately.
Oh.
But anyway, what do we got next?
Uh,
Unless you want to talk more about this Cardinals-Steelers game. I mean,
I
not a
mean,
ton to talk about. James Conner.
I guess the only thing to
huge
say,
game.
yeah, Connor
TDs.
ran for 105 and 2 touchdowns. James Conner revenge game. Cool to see for James Conner. He's a good
Yeah,
dude.
why was
He's a
that
good
not
player.
your leg? I mean, come on.
I do love the revenge games. I
know, you
love
do
the
talk
revenge
a lot
games.
about
I
revenge
love
games.
revenge games.
Who's coming? What revenge games are coming up?
I love the
that we
chip
didn't
on the
talk
Montgomery
shoulder.
against the
Montgomery again
Montgomery,
next
Montgomery,
week.
yeah.
I love the revenge games.
All right,
And
we'll
then Trey
take it 2
McBride.
touchdowns.
Reagan. Trey McBride had 8 for 89, a touchdown.
Bro, I was saying it before he was.
The only guy who had more than 1 catch was Jeff Swain, and he had 2 catches.
Remember when we were saying who your top 5 dynasty tight ends? Trey McBride was on that list. And now he's got to be on that list for you too now.
Oh,
Come
yeah,
on
he
now.
is.
He's a beast. He's by far their best weapon on offense.
God,
right
man,
now.
this rookie tight end class.
He's
I
not
knew,
a rookie though, but still.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
He's
right.
year 2, but
Young
still.
tight ends. There's like year 1 and 2 tight ends, bro. There's so many good ones. You got to be excited.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because I mean, let's be honest. Kittle and Kelsey are probably on their last legs in their career, but the future is bright for tight ends.
That it is.
I don't know why I keep thinking McBride's a rookie, bro. I said that the other day.
Well,
too.
he didn't play a ton last year, but they took him in the second round out of
I know.
Colorado State.
Yeah, I
Shout
knew
out
that.
Andy Klukas.
All right, brother. Next, the Dolphins whooped the hell out of the Commanders. I was a little upset that they beat him so bad because I called Tyreek 200 plus, and it looked like it early on. He was going to get
what
it.
did I say? I said that to you. I'm like, I love it, but it's not going to hit because they're going to get up so big. They're
I
probably going to
know.
be up so big.
I know,
And then
but-
I went on to say, but Washington's going to cover, so it will hit. But I said the only way it wouldn't
FanDuel,
hit.
the highest you could bet was 150, and I was really thinking.
I
about
took
doing that.
167
people
plus,
said that too.
and he was short. He had
Yeah, you
157.
couldn't get that
They
high.
Yeah, what do you have, like
any
150 at
sports book
halftime?
will allow
Yeah,
it.
he had 157. He had like
Surprised they didn't
yeah.
offer a 200 line just to get like
It's
people.
because they thought they knew.
If they offered a 200 line, you know how much money they would have made though? Like think about how many people would have bet it.
What was the 170 line at?
It was like plus 500.
Ew.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's Anyway,
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, he had 157, so like he was right there. If they didn't beat
Yeah,
him,
but
so
still,
like
plus
if
500
Hal,
for that.
I also said Hal's going to throw for 300 because be playing from behind, and he was like the leading passer in the league, and he threw for 127 and an interception.
bad,
So
yeah.
He had like 25, 30 passing yards in the whole second half.
I know. I also had Tua to get 300 plus, and he
Yes,
had
I
two.
took
He had
that.
280. He went 18 to 24 for
yeah,
280.
the Commanders
2
doing
touchdowns.
nothing. Screwed you guys.
This did nothing. I mean, Achan 17 for 73 and 2 touchdowns. Mostert 11
All of
for
it came
43
in
at a
garbage time. They
touchdown.
like benched
Yeah.
Mostert at
Yeah, and
like,
then
halftime.
Achan just started going off.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but
Dolphins 9-3. Still don't have a win over a team with a winning record though,
Still
which
frauds.
I
Still
still
frauds.
think they're very fraudulent as well. I think they plunked in the playoffs pretty early. Commanders, Ron Rivera. I hope you enjoy these last few games because your ass is out of town after this season. They're now 4-9. They have a lot of problems on both sides of the ball at this point.
It's official.
It's official.
Has hit 800
800 followers, baby!
who gets the shout out? Who was our 800th follower?
It was the 800 follower.
Moda clothing.
Nice.
All right.
Thanks if you're
You know this
listening.
person?
Yeah, it's me.
You made a fake account?
It's a store that I run for one of the advisors that I have.
Let's go.
Shout out Pablo.
Let's go, Pablo.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he's got
800,
2 followers.
baby.
Maybe this shout out on the pod will get him up to 3.
Really quick fucking star for us, boys. It's only to come up from here.
Yes, sir. 800
Yeah, if we-
live on the podcast. Just wait for 1,000. Boy,
Pretty
we got a
cool.
surprise for you
Ooh,
guys.
we got a couple drops going down on 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Some
lot of
giveaways.
fun things planned for
Yeah.
1,000. And to put it in
We do.
perspective, guys,
But
like
we're not revealing nothing until you get us to 1,000. So
Yeah,
if you want to
yeah,
hear those
we're
fun
not.
things planned,
spread the
Create
words.
those burner accounts.
Spread the
Let's
words.
go.
To put it in perspective, our goal preseason was like, hey, let's see if we can get to 500.
Well, I know I have 100
And now-
accounts, and Colin's got about 50. So I guess we really only have like 600 followers, but you know,
Yeah, but our goal preseason was 5, and the fact that we're at 8 right now, pretty freaking cool. Pretty
it'd be
freaking
cool if we
cool.
hit 1,000 before
Appreciate
the NFL playoffs.
all
1,000
you
before the
guys.
NFL playoffs?
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd
Would
be
be sick. It's doable. Hey, Christmas time. Ask the family members to give a follow on Instagram.
Hey, Grandma, do you have Instagram?
Oh, you don't? Well, let me make you an account.
Account.
That's what I did for my grandma.
Grandma Drock.
I already did that for my grandma, so you got to get a Grok account going.
I think there is a Grok
She's like,
account, actually.
She's like, Grok's lock of the day. Oh. And she's like, David, pull you by your ear.
Slam it. Oh, my back.
Oh, God. Hey, yo.
All right, well, let's take a quick break, Reagan, before we get to the remaining of the slate.
Hey, guys, I'm here to tell you about Masterpiece Designs. As you can see here, this is one of the shirts they've made. Look at the color and material. Gildan with the blue, it looks awesome. They've even made stickers, as you can see up there. It's Masterpiece Designs there. They've done a ton of stuff. They did stickers for us at Around the Felt and did shirts for us, too. So if you guys have any clothing needs or even can think of some other stuff, hit them up. They're on Instagram at Masterpiece Designs. Place your orders today, and I guarantee you're going to be satisfied with what they do. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys, we're back. We got Broncos, Texans. Texans win 22-17, improved to 7-5. Broncos dropped to 6-6. Houston ends their big winning streak, and it's a big game for wild card implications in the AFC.
It was. That race is tight as hell right now because you got the Texans at 7-5, Colts at 7-5, Steelers at 7-5, Browns at 7-5, and then you got teams like the Broncos at 6-6. Who else? There's got to be Bills at 6-6. Bengals, if they win tonight, because we're recording on a Monday, could be at 6-6 as well. So it's very tight, that race right now.
For sure, man. C.J. Stroud outduels Russell Wilson this one. Stroud 16-27, 274 and a touchdown.
Dude, he almost gets 300 a game. He's leading the league in passing.
He now is the leading. Yeah,
and Howell hadn't even had his bye yet, so he would have passed him anyway. So it's him and Tua right now are like the two big guys for it. So
very impressive. Russell Wilson 15-26 for 186, a touchdown, 3 interceptions. It's kind of a big reason they lost this game. They only lost by 5, but 3 picks is not good for Wilson. He's been taking care of the ball this season, so very unlike him. Sutton 2 for 77 and a 45-yard touchdown. Duty 3 for 51. Really not much else on the Broncos side. For the Texans, man, Nico Collins 9 for 191 and a touchdown. Must start the rest of the way. Must start.
Of course, yeah.
Must start.
And I think,
other than him,
I think and Schultz still a must start for me, and I think honestly Noah Brown.
I don't think Schultz played in this game, brother.
No. I know he didn't play in this. I'm just saying Texans options that are must starts going forward.
Because the only other receiver that had more than one catch was Braven Jordan, and I know he's a tight end.
Yeah,
3 for 64.
No. I'm just saying for fantasy must starts going forward because Tank being out, there's going to be more targets opening up. Obviously you're playing Nico and Schultz. I think Noah Brown, I'm not going to say he's a must-start, but I think he's definitely a flex consideration.
Yeah, he didn't have any catches in this game. I mean, John Mechie had 1 for 9, but there's definitely targets.
Noah Brown's had 2 games
around.
over 150 this
I know.
year.
I'm saying there's targets to go around, but not necessarily in this game, so don't be discouraged, because in the future, I mean, someone has to get those
Jordan
targets.
Is a god in Madden.
Wow.
You could get him.
That's high praise.
Is he actually?
Yeah,
That's
he's
high
insane
praise.
in Madden.
Mixon, 70-yard rush, touchdown.
Are you serious?
No, he was getting scared.
Yeah, I knew you were joking.
He doesn't got that speed.
Mixon's gonna run. Mixon's gonna have 12 carries for 26 yards tonight.
Just got 5 yards.
Okay, that's fine. He's not at 26 yet.
Wait, you don't think he's going to have how many yards?
12 for 26 is my guess.
No, he's already got 5, so he's up to a hot start.
12 for 26?
Yeah.
That's,
He doesn't like it.
And you're the co-host of a sports podcast?
It's a hot take.
That's extremely hot.
I genuinely think he has a terrible game tonight.
I'll do you one better. 13 for 24.
These are crazy hot takes.
All right, let's move on.
Next game, Bucks 21-18 over the Panthers, improved to 5-7, keeps their division title hopes alive. Carolina now 1-11.
My parlay didn't hit. Unfortunately, when we make these legs, I don't look at the weather report. Maybe I should do that because the first half was hurricane going on the field, so that didn't help. And then he got close in the second half when the rain stopped. But
15
that's why we
of
want to have
31.
Joe be doing a weather report every week so we can avoid this.
I like that idea.
Prevented you guys.
I like that idea. Weather report.
You could blame it on Joe. Since
it was Jared's idea of the last week. He's like, Joe should get a segment. He should be the weather report. We're like, we're gonna send him to Buffalo and in 3 feet of snow.
I love that.
It's snowing, guys. Take the under.
Get a green screen behind.
That's what I was saying.
Good.
That would be funny.
We'll just get him one to set up at his house.
Put in the dock truck. Put in the dock truck.
He'll just do what you do, and then he could just film it, send it to me, and I'll post it on the socials like what you do with the Drock.
Weather report.
Unless you're not okay with that.
Just do the weather report for the primetime games, because I think doing the weather report for every game would be son of a bitch. All right, it's snowing in Buffalo. Okay, now we're going down.
He could just be like, here's Joe's 1 minute.
We're in Miami. It's hot.
Actually, I think it'd be funny if he did
in
everything.
Miami, cold in Buffalo.
It would be funny if he did it all within like 2 minutes and got him in a suit and tie. And he's like, "Here's your 2-minute weather report with Joseph Faro." In the first game, he's just talking like an auctioneer.
We're just gonna do prime.
He just comes up.
That's actually funny.
I need some words from Manhattan to wash it down.
I like that idea.
That is a really good idea.
Jared, man, your mind is just. We just need to have you on the podcast to just pick your brain. You were so smart
Hey,
and
break.
courageous.
If he wants to come on.
I'd like to dissect that brain and just get all those good ideas out of him, you know?
Yeah,
Alright, move on.
That's fine. Yeah, so let's actually talk about the game. Baker throws for 202, touchdown and a pick. Mike Evans eclipsed 1,000 yards. We mentioned earlier he had 7 for 162 and a touchdown.
Big 75-yard touchdown.
The decline of Chris Godwin, man. No catches on 3
did have a rushing
targets.
touchdown, though, but still not ideal.
Yeah, that was clutch. I'd bet on him anytime.
He didn't even have a catch and he
Yeah, he
cashed.
scored.
That's
Ay,
awesome.
ay, ay.
That is awesome. Rashad White, 20 for 84 and a touchdown.
How about him, man? That's
Cashed my
one of
parlay.
the biggest
I
steals of, like,
I
when we're
took
talking
Rashad
draft
White.
season, like, steals. I traded for him in a fantasy league from you, actually, and you were like, "Oh, he's a bum," but it's been pretty good, man.
What were the other parts of that trade?
I don't remember. I think I gave you Calvin Ridley, and you gave me Picks and White.
Yeah.
But
That
still,
is true. That is true. Honestly, you won that trade, so
thank you.
good for you, brother. Good for you.
Oh.
And yeah, your boy Bryce Young, 15 to 31 for only 178 and a pick.
But the big thing, Mingo, more involved.
Gets more involved, 6 for 69. Thielen's kind of taking a back seat. We knew that stretch
Which-
probably wasn't going to
yeah.
last, but
I mean, I'm happy about that. We want to see Mingo get involved. He's the guy they took the capital on, so hopefully he can emerge as a number 1 wide receiver for
well,
him.
it's similar like the Giants. Like Jalen Hyatt's become their number 1. Like he gets the most snaps because he's a young player and you want to develop him. I think they're going to do that with Mingo.
Well, they
Like,
also
he's
spent a
just gonna be
second-round pick on him. You know what I mean? Like Hyatt was a 4th, so like
No, Hyatt was a 3rd.
I thought you
He's
guys
a
took him.
third.
He was
Really?
a 3rd. Yeah, he was a 3rd.
What, late 3rd?
Like mid-3rd. I think he was picked 79 on the dot.
Know
So
your ball, bro.
I'm sorry.
do the math. Do the math. Pick 79. Where is that? Mid-3rd.
Uh.
Next, the Browns.
I'm sorry. I gotta get on Giants Twitter. I'm sorry.
Are you like fact checking me? You don't
Yeah,
believe that I know where
wanna
Jalen Hyatt was
pick
selected?
Yeah, I do. What pick did you say?
79.
73.
Ah!
So you're gonna give
Know
me
your
shit,
ball.
but you don't even know what you're talking about. You're like, I'm just gonna throw shit on the wall and hope it sticks.
I knew it
If
was
I didn't
bad.
fact check your ass,
You thought it was
everyone
fourth
would've went-
round.
No,
You thought
no,
it was
no,
fourth
no, no.
round.
Oh,
You
okay.
thought it was fourth
Oh,
round.
well, good thing I'm not a Giants fan, so I don't care. But you're the one who's like, well, I was on Giants Twitter this week. You just threw shit on the wall, and I caught you on that bullshit, buddy.
What pick was Joe Tippmann picked?
I want to say he was 36, but you know what? I'm not going to claim I know it. That's a guess. I'm not going to
guess.
say. Yeah, but I'm not. I'm saying I'm guessing. This guy over here was like, he was picked 79. You should know this. Quick.
I did
math.
not say you should know this.
Well, maybe don't.
I said mid-3rd. I thought it was pick
Well,
79.
You were a 2-strike approach. You just hit a home run.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
well,
Thank you.
Can we
I'm
move
glad
on?
Drock
I
liked it.
like to move on. I digress. The Rams beat the Browns 36 to 19. Reagan, what's wrong with this Browns defense, bro? That's 2 weeks in a row they've gotten exposed.
Oh, I looked up Joe Tippett. I'm just worrying. I'm just seeing what he was.
You're not even answering me.
There's a lot wrong with it. Wait, hold on. He was pick 43.
You're just throwing shit on the wall and hoping it sticks.
In fairness, I did guess. You were like, you're an idiot. You were an idiot.
I didn't call you an idiot once.
Home run for the
fact
white
check.
team. It's 1-1.
Fact check. Fact check.
Yeah, he is the white team.
Someone
This is my
fact check
garage.
me. I did not call you an idiot. I said do the math.
Put your
'cause I
damn
said
finger
mid-third.
down. You're in my house. You respect my house. Put your damn finger down. You don't point.
Last time I checked,
2-1.
you don't pay the you don't
right,
pay the
double-
you don't pay the
double
heating
the
bill.
gap.
Last time I checked, you
All
don't
right,
pay
can we
rent
talk-
or the heating bill.
Last time I checked, we're a sports podcast, so shut up.
Bang.
I
You
tried
run home run.
I tried talking about the next game, and you're like, oh, let me double check.
You're still
this.
going
I'm
on
like,
about this? Let's talk some football. 3-run home run. I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
It's 4-1. 4-1 home team.
Oh, I wanted to say something really.
I digress.
aggressive to you,
I
but
digress.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, you're hitting me with a... I could say something really bad right now, but I'm a nice guy, so I'll let you live this time.
No, turn the camera off and I'll say it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
That bad. All right, so the Rams 36 to 19. Like I asked you earlier, are you going to answer it this
Sorry,
time?
I'm just gulping. I'm terrified right now.
Are you going to answer my question? What is wrong with this Browns defense? That's back-to-back weeks getting exposed.
You done being tough? All right, sorry. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, there's clearly a lot wrong with this Browns defense. I mean, Stafford has been on fire as of recent.
Yeah, he threw
4
for
touchdown
279
passes last week, 3 more
touchdowns.
this week, so 7 in his past 2 games. been a viable starter for fantasy, and probably half of that's getting Kyron Williams back because, I mean, he's a stud for fantasy.
21 for 88 and a touchdown against what
He's
we
a big
thought
part
was a
of
stout Browns defense, but the past 2 weeks they haven't
But
been.
I will say, Flacco's looked to be the best option we've seen for the
Flacco
Browns.
made some big-time throws, man.
Maybe not Justin, he might be better than Watson this look to see. He might be the best option we've seen under center for the Browns this season in one game.
He went 23 of 44 for 254, 2 touchdowns and 8 picks, but he did make some really good throws. And Elijah Moore, 4 for 83. Pick him up in fantasy if he's available. Amari Cooper got hurt in this one. Cooper only had 3 for 34.
And Elijah Moore and
before leaving.
Flacco already had a connection from when they were on the Jets, so.
It's a good point. I think Elijah Moore could be a sneaky flex play the rest of the way, or at least
I think
until
so.
Amari Cooper comes back to the lineup.
It's clear that, Flacco, I know they were talking about it a lot, the run plays just weren't there. He's so slow getting the handoffs that all the timing was off on the running plays.
Yeah,
They had to pass it a lot more.
Jerome Ford, 9 for 19, and Kareem Hunt, 12 for 48.
Yeah, and the Tutty came in the receiving game.
Yeah, it did come in the receiving game. 4 to 3 for 33 for a touchdown through the air.
So, all right, let's move on, though.
We didn't even mention the Rams receivers. Puka Nacua, 4 for 105 and a touchdown before leaving with injury. DeMarcus
But
Robinson,
he
4
came
for
back
55 and a
in.
touchdown. He did come back in?
He did come back in.
Okay, I didn't care because I had him to score and he cashed me, so that was good.
Okay. Well, for the listeners.
And Cooper
that
Kupp,
know,
6 for
he did come back
39.
in.
And finally, Cooper Kupp reaches the end zone again after a long layoff. Happy to see for a Cooper Kupp fantasy owner. All right. The big bet of the week. Niners 42 to 19, improved to 9-3. Eagles 10-2. Niners are 1 game back for that 1 seed, but
What happened?
Kirk just took not even a hit. He kind of just tripped up on himself, and it looks like he's going to be out.
Christian Kirk?
Yeah.
Voided. We might be voided, everybody.
This will definitely be a void.
Is that the first play of offense?
does he catch the ball?
He caught it, and he's not getting up.
He was going to score, too.
Damn. Void it.
Did he grab his leg?
Nothing.
It
he
looked
just
not
literally
contact.
boom.
Yeah,
Maybe his elbow.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, bro. The whole fucking squad's pulling out.
Well, we'll see what happens. But anyway, let's keep going.
Man, yeah.
First
I don't wanna
touchdown,
speculate.
not looking
So Brock Purdy now the MVP favorite, 19 to 27 for 314 and 4 touchdowns. McCaffrey 17 for 93 and a touchdown. Debo 3 for 22 and a touchdown on the ground. Added 4 catches for 116 and 2 touchdowns through the air. My goodness.
This offense was humming.
Ayuk 5 for 46 and a touchdown. Juwan Jennings 3 for 44 and a touchdown. Touchdowns for everybody.
Apparently.
I mean, they hung
touchdown
40.
here, touchdown there.
All right.
It is the giving season. So, yeah, this Eagles defense got exposed, man. And then offensively, they couldn't really get much going. Yeah, Hurts threw for 298 and a touchdown, but on the ground, Swift 6 for 13. Jalen 7 for 20. He did have the tush push. Drock locks. Cash it!
Slim it!
A.J. Brown 8 for 114. Devontae Smith 9 for 96 and a touchdown. They just couldn't punch it in.
Yeah, good game
in this one,
fantasy-wise. If you had guys in this game, you were definitely thrilled.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, Eagles just seemed like they had a lot of yards. They just couldn't finish drives. And it was all through the air. I mean, the running game. I mean, both these teams are supposed to have 2 of the most elite run defense in the league. But as we just saw,
week.
the Niners' run defense looks a little bit more elite.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But I think this is an NFC championship rematch.
I sure hope so. Because Debo talked all that shit. He backed it up. And now I'd like to see him go at it again in the NFC championship.
You and me both.
As fans, we could only root for that.
Probably the biggest upset of the week. The final game last night.
Final game. Packers beat the Chiefs 27 to 19. Jordan Love, man.
He looks legit.
He does look legit.
I think it's safe to say, he's the starter next year.
Absolutely. I mentioned last week's pod, the stretch that he's had the past month, since his birthday. Man, he kept it going. 25 of 36, 267, 3 touchdowns. Dobbs, 4 for 72. Christian Watson, big breakout game, 7 for 71 and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I believe he had a hamstring injury last year as well.
Yep. So we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't miss too much time, but if re-injuring the hammy never a good look. So.
Yeah, and A.J. Dillon, 18 for 73. This offense played really well.
Yeah,
against...
they don't even have Aaron Jones right now.
No, and dude, this Chiefs defense has been a top 5 defense all season, man.
Yeah.
Very impressive performance out of these Packers. For the Chiefs, same story. Kelsey, 4 for 81. Rashee Rice, 8 for 64. And then nothing from anybody else.
Dude, and if you drafted Mahomes, I know I drafted him early in a couple leagues, he is having an awful fantasy season.
For Mahomes standards.
No, for not even if it was, I don't even take the name away.
He's still top 10, right?
Yeah, but if you drafted him in the second, third round, that's not returning on value.
That's why I'm saying for Mahomes standards.
But
because
if
you're saying
horrible,
horrible, he's still top 10.
He's having a horrible fantasy season.
For
where
Mahomes.
you drafted him, no. For who you drafted it, where you drafted him. I don't care if you draft
Kirk is dumb.
It could have been if you could have taken Josh Allen there.
Yeah.
What, he got carted off?
No, he didn't get carted off, but he's limping off. And
All right, well,
Uh,
thanks,
that
Dave.
voice.
Terrible wheel spin.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Just
Because
like
I
our
didn't say
wheel.
slam it.
Just
That's what
like
it
our
is.
wheel, broken. But anyway, Mahomes has not been returning on value at all. Disappointing season for fantasy.
Now, clearly, I mean, Mahomes, it's probably his worst season as a pro, but still, he's still playing very good
I'm
football.
strictly
But
talking
there was,
about
there-
fantasy.
yes, yes.
Nobody, like,
it
I
helped
don't
if he
give
has
a-
receivers.
I don't give a crap if he's playing good for NFL standards. That doesn't mean shit for fantasy. For fantasy, he's been terrible. Point blank.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
where you
For
drafted
Patrick
him,
Mahomes, yes.
if you drafted him over Hurts and Allen and took that second-round pick on him, you were not happy. Even if you took him in the third, fourth round, you were not happy. He's not returning on value. Like, a guy like Sam Howell's better. A guy like C.J. Stroud's been better. You know, like, these guys that you didn't draft are better.
Dak's been better.
Dak, yes. And when did you draft him? 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th
Yeah,
round? You know?
yeah. You know, that's why I'm not a big believer in taking quarterbacks in round
clearly
2
not.
or 3. But
Or at least one, or just make sure they have the rushing upside because he can run, but he doesn't have the touchdown upside on the
yeah,
running
no,
game,
that's a
so.
good point. I mean, I don't know where the Chiefs